Booyah, 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 booyah. It is time to crack some collectors, my friends. We're doing a Rip and Stay program here in the Basement of Collectors. I'm Kevin. This is my co-host, Jeremy. I brought on some extra help with the Final Fantasy because I am not a Final Fantasy lore person like my friends Tony and Jeremy are. So what we're going to do as players over this, we're going to first have Jeremy go ahead and we're going to go through these collector boxes for the store. So this is a Rip and Stay program. So these cards that we have here will be available for sale when we go to our midnight release happening tonight in just a few hours. By the way, it is happening, and we have a lot of people calling the store. Mama's been getting calls about it. Yeah, so this is going to be a fun night tonight. We'll get some pizza. We're going to have some tunes going. It's going to be a great time. Make sure you check it out. We're going to set the world on fire. Having a great time. So let's get down to these products. If we hit one of these $10,000 Chocobo. Thank you. God, what are we going to do with it, right? What will we do? We might raffle it off. We might have some fun. But here's what we're going to do for you guys. I have this box of Play Booster packs. Now, we can't sell any of this stuff legally until, where we're at. We can't sell any stuff legally until midnight. But what I can do is give stuff away. So, we have these two collector boxes. My friend here is going to go over some of the lore that I don't know. If somebody corrects in our live stream, and we have this streaming to, I believe, YouTube, Facebook, and maybe a couple other places, Tony's going to be watching that. If you correct my friend over here on his knowledge, or you just say something funny in the chat, I might be throwing you one of these packs. All right, and you'll just have to come on by.
We got our number one super fan right now.
Number one super fan, guy from the last stream.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? You have high likelihood chance of getting one of these packs. But let's go ahead and start cracking. At first, we're just going to go through. Again, I have not seen this product. I have not really looked at the spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
You've looked at some of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What is other than the Chocobos and the serialized cards? What are you looking for? Like, what is the big hit for you in your playstyle?
Yeah. So a bit of a caveat. The only serialized card in this set is actually the Chocobo card, the Golden Chocobo,
So
and
what's
there's only
the other
77
ones
of them.
we've seen?
That was a different TCG.
That's not
Yes.
that TCG. Okay.
So what there are in this set is Surge foils and a bunch of alternate arts and borderless of a bunch of really popular characters.
What of the non-serialized card? What is the most expensive non-serialized?
So right now, the big thing we're looking for that's not a differently colored Chocobo, which are really, really rare, is a Surge foil Cloud. That's the mercenary.
Yeah, I know that. Everybody knows Final Fantasy VII and the big damn sword.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go through this and let's see what we find. Okay.
Yeah.
So and let's see if they have the rares in the front, which they typically do. Ooh. Okay. The Summon Knights. Now, this is what I understand from the sagas. The entire way that sagas are dealt with has been changed because of Final Fantasy. I don't know if you heard about this.
Yes.
So the new ruling states that typically when the saga no longer has, like, say a Blood Moon comes out, and it completely changes how this saga would work. It would turn it off if it was a Saga Land, for example, like Urza Saga. And basically, what typically happens on a saga is when the levels or the steps are done, eroded, taken away, you sacrifice the card. The card's no longer out. Now, apparently, it's just a Blood Moon. Like, let's say it's an Urza Saga. It now stays out, right?
Yes.
And
they kind of buffed Urza Saga with this new ruling. That was a thing that happened.
So cool stuff right here. Summon Knight of the Round.
So summons are a big thing. I'm not sure if you have a lot of Final Fantasy. Basically, they're like not gods, but sort of like other dimensional beings that a lot of the characters can summon. Knights of the Round is from Final Fantasy VII, actually. It's one of the strongest ones in the game, which is cool if you actually read the card. It kind of shows you just how powerful it is.
So 1 through 4, and of course these are, it's in a saga, so it's going to happen every turn, is create 3 2/2 White Knight creature tokens, which is kind of crazy.
So a fun fact about Knight of the Round, in order to get that summon in Final Fantasy VII, and let's see if they can correct me on this one, you actually needed a Golden Chocobo. Now, I believe there is a way to get it without the Golden Chocobo, but that was required.
Tony's saying no, too. Here's what I'm going to do for Tony and Jeremy. If someone knows a way to do what he just said without a Golden Chocobo, and and it's verifiable, you will get this Play Booster pack right here if you come by the store today.
Yeah,
so go ahead and put that in the chat if you know the answer.
The intended way is to get and to breed a Golden Chocobo in order to cross the ocean, cross over a mountain, and get to a cave in order to get that summon.
That's wild. All right, let's move on to the next one. And we have, ooh, what the hell is this?
It's one of the showcase cards.
Holy
That's
shit.
actually,
This is a
you know
reprint.
him, yes.
This is Finn the Fangbearer.
Yes.
Okay, but what art? Holy shit.
Yes, a lot of
This is
those are
video
really
game art.
cool.
Like, it really
Yes.
does look, it's right out of the video game.
Some of the showcase arts are almost directly.
Beautiful.
So the artist for the Final Fantasy games, the official artist,
Mm-hmm.
did some of the artwork that they're using for these cards.
That's wild. What do you think about now? What do you think about this being a standard rotated product? So in other words, this is going to be in standard for the next couple of years.
I'm not sure how I feel about
Yeah?
it. It's especially because of the way that I see it, because Wizards kind of has to justify, because they have to pay for the trademarking, so they're going to
Right.
charge more for the product because they have to spend more for the product.
Yeah.
But like, in order to justify people buying their more expensive cards now, they kind of have to make the cards more powerful. That's sort of how I see
That's
it.
very true, yeah.
So this set is kind of more powerful than I would like to see in standard.
Fair enough.
Yep.
We have, can you say that name correctly?
Yes, Nibelheim of Flame.
That's why he's here.
Yes.
Also, Kevin,
Yeah.
for reference,
Yeah.
it says the Final Fantasy game on the bottom
Bottom
left
left.
corner.
Yes. So
it tells you which
if
games
you
it
look,
Yes.
I don't know
Oh,
how.
yeah. Yeah, I see that.
Okay, I don't know how we've closed
That's okay.
here.
Yeah, in the
Bottom
bottom
left,
right
yeah.
here, as we scroll up, you will be able to see FF. I believe that's 8 or 7.
That's 7.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. Roman numerals. Pretty cool. What was this character as you're a 7?
So that's
Sephiroth.
Sephiroth. He's one of the chase cards in the set if you can get him. He's actually, even the regular card himself, I believe, is still a $35 card right now.
Let's leave that one up.
Well, that's just the sorcery. And that is
Oh,
a,
the actual
yes.
creature itself. I see
Yep.
what you're saying. Okay.
And that is actually a reference to a moment in the game. Well, it's a dream sequence / flashback, so it's, in the past in the game storyline. But Sephiroth actually lit an entire village on fire, which was then covered up by the government who, hired him.
That's pretty
Which
cool.
was covered in Crisis Core and Ever Crisis.
We have some real nerds here today. All right, let's move on to the next pack. Or next card.
Sid.
Free Flyer Pilot.
Yes. Which Sid is this from?
This is
That is
Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
7 again.
Sid is actually a fun character, and there's a fun uncommon that's a reference to it in this set. There has been a Sid in, I believe, every Final Fantasy game
Yes.
that they've ever made.
Yes.
Yep.
And he's all like a mechanics, or he's like some kind of doctor in some
Yes.
game. Like he's always in every game doing something, except for Final Fantasy 1. He wasn't in Final Fantasy 1.
Just as a Magic player, Mono White as well as Mono Red and Boros, of course, doing a lot of these equipments and vehicles. So this particular one, as a commander, pretty damn powerful. 2
Well,
drop.
yeah.
Equipment and vehicle spells you cost 1 less.
As
to
in
cast.
Nelson want to play booster, bro. He
Ooh.
corrected us.
Oh, hold on. We have
Okay.
somebody corrected us. What happened on the correction?
He said you can obtain the summon by defeating Emerald Weapon and attaining Master Material.
Is that accurate?
Yes, it is
You're 100%
accurate.
accurate on that?
But that's the easy way to do it.
Well, I mean, you said it couldn't be done, so we will honor that. Come on by tonight. We're open till 1 in the morning. Tony's going to get your information. He'll just message you, and we will have this play booster set aside just for you. Thank
Yes,
you very much
please
for that. And we'll be
message
giving away a
me
few more
on
throughout this,
Instagram
broadcast.
or Facebook.
So also, during your turn, Sid has flying. For 2, return target equipment or
Yeah.
vehicle card from your grave to your hand. Very useful.
Yeah. So the fun fact about that jump right
Yeah.
there. So they don't really say it, but there's a type of character in the game called a Dragoon in a lot of Final Fantasy games, and jump is sort of the Dragoon mechanic, and that's referenced by the fact that Sid is the surrogate Dragoon of that game.
Huh.
Dragoons are usually just characters that fight with spears, and they usually use more techniques.
Is a dragoon spelled like a dragon?
Yeah.
Dragoon
Is it
with
really?
it's dragon with 2 O's.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
like that.
And I do think there is a connection, but I don't know enough to
Okay.
say confidently.
Moving on, we have Banon the Returner's Leader? Is that right?
Yes. Now these are actually, if you look at the symbol with the chocobos,
Yeah,
those are
these are
commander
commander-
cards.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're
So Banon is from Final Fantasy VI.
Okay.
He is a member of the Returners, and basically they're like a revolutionary force to fight the government, in a sense, where like the government are using magical creatures to make themselves more powerful. So he dies ultimately, but he plays a major part in the first world from
Yes. And this is actually a great time to mention that if you look at the creature type there, they actually brought back rebels for Final
They have
Fantasy.
not had rebels in a while. That's very true. Yeah.
And rebels are a relevant creature type for some older cards.
Yes, it is.
So if you have
Rebels,
if you have a
mercenaries,
commander
yep.
that works with rebels, you might have some new toys to play
Did
with.
they put horsemanship back in here too? All right, let's move on to the next card.
The
Yes.
Sid from Final Fantasy 15 is not included in the set either.
Oh, he's not?
No. Someone in the comments.
Good to know.
Way to
We have
spoil the game,
Jill,
Tony.
Jill Shiva's.
The game's been out for 30 years, bro.
So I don't know. Yeah, if you these are
Is this a
flip
flipper?
cards. Yes.
It is a flipper. So let me read it just so everybody's on the same page. When Jill enters, return up to one target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Very nice. For 5 in activation, exile this, return to the owner, activate a sorcery, and we have a new. Is this a saga? Yeah, a new saga.
Yes.
Mesmerize, target creature can't be blocked. Or Cold Snap, tap all lands your opponent's control, exile it. Okay.
So yeah, the first 2 turns, it's a 4/5 that says target creature can't be blocked this turn.
Really good in standard. Actually, a solid standard card that you could use. Tapping your lands down? Like,
Yeah, it's actually really fun with cards. There's one card in particular, a Garnet, in this set, that whenever it attacks, you can remove a counter from a saga you control, a lore counter. So there's some saga fun you can have with that.
what an interesting, the art. I haven't, it looks like it was just kind of bloop. I don't know, interesting.
That's most of these cards, bro.
Yeah, just kind of blooped it. All right, then we have our waste. And not for nothing, you don't get a lot of beautiful full art treatments of waste. This is something. I might have to grab one of these. Because there's a really cool waste command or a colorless commander.
Yeah, I really like all of the lands in this set.
That's fire. Where is this and what's going on here? This looks like it's in 6, FF6. Do you know about where this location might be?
So after the world was like, there's this thing called the Warring Triads, and basically, Kefka, the villain of the game, he basically put them out of sync, and the world got into ruin. So that comes from that.
Very cool. All right, so then we're going to hit our uncommons and commons. Is there anything in here that you feel is really relevant as far as the uncommons and commons that we're going to be going through? That you're looking for?
I mean, we can, go
there's
through
this.
them.
There's this. What is that? There's a set of rocks, artifact rocks.
Those are rare, actually.
They are rares. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a couple of just interesting commons and uncommons in this set that we can talk about.
Very cool anime art. By the
Yes.
way, I have yet to see a Japanese card in this product, and let me tell you, thank you. There are Japanese boxes, but man, oh man, do I love not seeing cards that I can't read or understand what the heck they say. So thank you. Good choice.
Yes.
Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for 7. Exile this equipment, then return to the battlefield untransformed. And let's see what it does on the other side.
Comes
Prevent all
Alexander.
damage.
Yep.
Would be dealt to you, and then tap all creatures. That's relevant.
Wait, is that Alexander?
Yes, that's a
But
Final Fantasy IX.
Which summon from it?
Final Fantasy IX Alexander. Like, if
Okay.
you look at the front, it's Garnet and Ico.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that. Then we have, what the hell is this?
Vanille.
Vanille.
Or
What-
Vanille.
What is she?
Not great with the pronunciations. So she's, if you look at the back, she's a meld card. So you actually have,
Oh, they brought back
ol'
Mel.
just for Vanille and Fang.
Okay.
Okay,
Here.
so let me give you some
Okay, we all have
history on
something.
this.
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on. Before Tony goes off, because this is a meld specific thing. Name the last time. I'll make this more specific. Name the angel that is a meld angel for a Final Fantasy pack. This is not from Final Fantasy. This is a Magic-based question. It goes back several years. There was a few other times they've done the meld mechanic. Name the angel. Name it correctly. And the first one in the chat to name it on our YouTube chat, we'll go ahead, or in any of the chats, we'll go ahead and get this, and Tony will let us know. Okay, what are you saying?
Okay, so Final Fantasy 13, every character had their own type of special summon. Fang and Vanille were like a combo character kind of thing. And at the end of Final Fantasy 13, spoiler alert, they got turned to stone in a sense. They got turned into a Fal'Cie. And that was their special summon. So Vanille and Fang, they're a combo character. Lightning will probably get Odin. I don't know. Haven't seen the cards yet. But Lightning will probably get Odin. Snow will probably get Shiva. Who got Ifrit in 13?
I don't know.
I think it was, what's his name?
See, I don't think they're doing it for all of them, though, because I'm trying to think. I don't think there's a Lightning or a Snow transform card. I know they did it for some of the, I think, 14, Final Fantasy 14 characters.
So do we have, while we're going over that, have we anybody in the chat know the name of the angel? It's an angel horror. I know exactly this card.
We
It
got
uses- you know
Ryan
it too, don't
Appeal. He says, I don't know the angel, but I thought it was Wagale.
It uses Bruna.
And it was Briziella. Nelson Lee said Briziella.
You are correct. Come on by. Message Tony. You've got yourself Brizella. Brizella?
I believe so.
It's Bruna and Gisela, and they merge, and it's all done because of the Eldrazi overtaking their domain and merging into this gothic horror. Really cool shit.
Nelson, please message me on Facebook or
We'll get that taken
Instagram.
care of.
Thank
All right,
you.
so we're gonna be
Yep.
moving on. We've got Sid.
So
Timeless
that's one of the
Artificer.
Sid. There's actually multiple arts for this Sid as a reference to the fact that there was a Sid in multiple Final Fantasy games.
Okay. And you can have as many as you want. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
so
pretty
and
cool.
it'll tell you which
Ryan
Sid
got,
this game is
got
from
it
the bottom
as well
left.
to Ryan Appeal. He said Bruna right before.
Okay, but both of you guys are good. You can come on by and grab that pack.
Okay.
All right, and we're moving through our uncommons. This was only pack 1. We will start moving a little faster and just really hitting on the mythics and whatnot, but just wanted to see this
Yeah.
for everything. Rieta's return.
Oh, this is a cool card. This is just an overrun with another side.
An expensive overrun, but yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Was overrun
No, overrun is 5.
It was 5, yeah, you're right.
This one doesn't give trample, unfortunately, but the other side I think makes up for it. It's just a restock.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, Barrett got his own card.
Barrett got
Yes,
his own
Barrett
card.
got a
couple
commander.
cards.
Wow.
Yeah,
It
it's one of the
deals damage
equipment.
equal number of equipped creatures. So
That's
a lot of
kinda cool.
equipment-based effects.
There is a so job select
Mm-hmm.
is another I forget what the name of the original mechanic was, but basically you make a 1/1 hero and attach the equipment to it immediately.
All right,
for
explain-
Mirrodin. That was
Explain
the
to
other
me
mechanic.
chocobos.
So
Okay.
a chocobo is in the Final Fantasy universe. The best way to describe it is just chicken horse.
They're chickens people
Yes,
ride.
so they are big giant birds that, well, they start out pretty smallish chicks,
Okay.
but they're giant birds that don't fly. Well, I think some of them do fly, but yeah, for the most part, they don't really fly, but they run real fast. And some of them, like the different colored ones, in Final Fantasy at least, well, no, in multiple Final Fantasy games, the different colored chocobos have different abilities. In Final Fantasy VII, when you ride the chocobos, and that's where you breed the golden chocobo to get Knights of the Round, or, beating Emerald Weapon, as the viewers so kindly pointed out.
I never did that, by the way. I just
Yeah.
bred
Was
the
that a side
chocobo.
quest?
It's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way easier because Emerald Weapon, like you have to be at a certain level threshold.
All right, we've got. That's a really
Yeah.
cool warrior. Is this a cat warrior? It looks like a Johnny almost.
But with,
Yeah, if you
yeah,
look
the
at
chocobos, depending on the color,
does
they
look
can
like a
either
giant.
walk on water, walk over mountains, and do other things.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what our first mythic is.
Darkness
Oh,
Crystal,
cool
yeah.
shit.
Whoa.
Hold on, let me read
Chaos.
this. Okay, Darkness Crystal. Black spells you cost 1 less gas. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile instead, and you gain 2 life. For 6, put target creature card exile with this and onto the battlefield tapped under your control with 2 additional 1/1
Yes.
counters on it.
I think that's a fantastic card, especially for EDH.
Mm-hmm.
People are already playing. Who's the creature? Kalista? No,
Keltis or Kalitas or something?
Kalitas. I think it's Kalitas.
Okay.
Who exile a creature instead of
Pretty useful.
letting them have it. Yeah. So that's a useful ability, especially with any sort of reanimate strategies.
So what I'm gathering is this is only 2 packs in, but it looks like the second card of each of these packs is going to be one of the reprint cards.
Most likely a showcase card. Yeah. That's Light Up the Stage, a Final Fantasy VIII reference there.
Wow. I don't know anything from this game, and that's cool. That's just like cool art. I like that.
Yeah, I believe that's ripped directly from one of the
The
games.
CGI.
yeah, from the game, one of the video
Spectacle.
sequences.
How does Spectacle work again? That's a newer mechanic.
Spectacle is, I believe it's cost that as long as an opponent was dealt damage this turn, or maybe
okay.
lost life, one of the two.
Exile type 2 cards of your library. Well, it is light up the stage. I don't remember how light
It is Light Up the
works.
Stage, yeah.
Very cool. Then we have Joshua.
Is that
Phoenix
regular?
Dominant.
Yes.
Yep, from 6.
Yeah, so
and
the dominants all have the backside. That's a
No, he's from Final Fantasy
Summon.
12. It
12,
looks-
yes.
Yes.
Is that 12?
No, 16.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
have not read Roman numerals in a minute.
Yeah, it's 16.
No. It's blurred out. I couldn't see it from
Oh,
my
that's
end.
fair,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's 16.
that is
The
16.
V is behind him.
What number are we at right now? 17?
Yeah.
Oh wow, and it's another saga card.
I think I have a feeling they're all sagas.
The dominants
The
are.
dominants are. Okay.
Yep.
Sin Unending Cataclysm. So we do have a lot of these things.
Yes, Sin is from Final Fantasy X, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Remove all counters from any number of artifact, creatures, and enchantments. Sin enters with X 1/1 counters on it, where X is twice the number of counters removed this way. When he dies, put its counters on target creature you control, then shuffle this card into its owner's library.
Nah, that's pretty cracked. That would go
I
really
like
good in Ursa.
there's a Sin in the regular set that I think is a lot better, a lot crazier. Ooh, we also got the
here
Fire
we go
Crystal.
with the crystal. So what is the relevance of the crystals? And I'll read this out. Red spells you have.
So these
Gives you
are
haste.
from which game? Final Fantasy 3?
3.
So from my understanding, the crystals have been in the game since the first one, right?
Yes.
I guess they just chose
and
the
that's
third
how
game.
your jobs are selected, basically. Like, the fire crystal was granted to, like, usually the warrior. The water crystal is usually granted to somebody. And they basically, like, keep balance of the world. So if the crystals go out of balance, like there's a whole bunch of issues.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling you about Garland before. Like Garland put the world in chaos.
We have a Jekt.
Jekt, yeah.
Reluctant
Also
Guardian.
from Final Fantasy X.
When he deals combat damage to a player, you may exile and return it to battlefield transformed, and the transformation looks like...
Oh, there we go. Sin.
Each opponent discards a card, and you draw... Oh, here's Turgid. Ultimate shot. Each opponent sacks 2... Holy shit, there's a Turgid card. I don't even care about the rest.
Yeah, so it's actually... so on the back with the name... most of the Final Fantasy, I think some of them might use the same name, but the summons all have different names depending on which game you're playing. I believe all of the summons were called Aeons in Final Fantasy X, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they were Eidolons in Final Fantasy IX, Guardian Forces in 8. Trying to remember, I think they were just summons in 7. Some of them just called them summons.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Beautiful mountain.
Oh yeah, I love the lands in this set.
So as an old school player, I've been around very much on and off since the beginning. There was a time you could only get full art lands in the unsets, and then they basically became in every set. And I didn't initially like that, but they've been doing amazing stuff with the art, and they really give like the world a feel. Like the difference of this versus like your Innistrad with the black and white lands and the dark gothic or Capenna. Like just they're doing a good job. I really like it.
Yeah.
Prompto?
Argentum.
Prompto.
Who is this?
One of my favorite
Yeah.
games of all time.
Really?
So on his regular card in this set, the non-alternate art, he's taking a selfie,
Yeah.
which I believe is a reference to the game.
Yeah. So Final Fantasy 15 is probably one of my favorite games, and Prompto's one of the main characters that rides along with Noctis on his journey.
I've had some people jokingly call that game just a couple of guys on a road trip.
It literally is a couple of guys on a road trip. Even the comments are agreeing. Yeah. Zidane.
Yeah, Zidane.
Or
What is
Zidane.
Zelda doing in this?
Zidane. He's the main character from Final Fantasy IX.
Huh.
He's actually cool, so I'm not sure. This is kind of a spoiler, but you don't really know what he is till near the end of the game, where you find out he's kind of just an angel of death that was sent by the main bad guy of the game to the main planet in order to, destroy them.
Some really good
I
Boros
love
abilities.
15, Ryan.
Gain control
No
target
judgment.
creature opponent controls until in a turn. Untap it again.
Combat
So
was
stealing someone's creature, first
Yeah.
off, is really good. And then whenever an opponent gains control of a permanent from you give it back, essentially. You create a treasure. Now, there's a whole...
If anyone has a Zeju deck...
I was just going to say, there's a whole Zeju deck that could be built with this in it. It's kind of crazy. I dig that. Okay.
Yeah.
Torgal.
I really like this card just as a card.
First human creature, spells each turn. Okay. Dog and wolf.
Yep, and it's just a mana dork, 2 mana, 2/2 that taps for mana.
A Choco Comet.
Yes, that's a reference to, which Final Fantasy game? I think it's just Tactics, but no, here it says, 12?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's, I believe in Tactics there was a red Chocobo that can use Choco Comet as an ability.
Eject. What is this? We have this can't be countered. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand and draw a card. Wow, that's very useful.
But how many
That's
drops?
Aerith.
What's the MCM?
What? Say again?
What's the MCM?
The CMC?
CMC, 4 cost.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
not bad.
It's, it's an Into the Royal that can't be countered, but you can't use the 2 cost, the 2 mana ability instead. I think there's been cards like that in the past.
Paladin's Arms. So job select. I know this is an important part. So basically you have jobs in Final Fantasy, or you have a hero path or something like that?
Yes, it was heavily used in the earlier Final Fantasy games, and then it was referenced in the later Final Fantasy games.
Final Fantasy VI was the first game that, instead of having the job system, they had basically every character be a specific role. So, like, Terra, for an example, she was like a spellcaster, Locke was a thief.
Yeah. So Final Fantasy 1 was very RPG heavy. I don't believe the characters actually had names. I think they were just referred to as the Heroes of Light.
Yes.
So not a lot of Final Fantasy 1 cards in this set, to my knowledge.
What for those that are watching in the chats? What cards are you looking for, other than the high value cards? Like, are you looking to build certain commanders? I'm just kind of curious based on what you guys are talking about. Also, as I do want to do a quick promo plug for our upcoming Commander Escalation League, you can grab one of our Commander decks that we have. and use it for that purpose. So basically, you get the commander deck, come in on Tuesday. Everyone will be starting with any precon that they've got, as long as it's not upgraded in any way. We'll be giving you 2 packs. You can upgrade your deck with those 2 packs. You can trade cards from your deck and those packs you pull with the other players. And then we're going to have a regular league, and we'll be doing it for 10 weeks in a row. So over those 10 weeks, your deck will slowly form into like the deck.
All
you
our
really
Tidus
want.
decks are about to sell out, bro.
Yeah. Ooh, Yuna.
Is that a regular foil or
the
a
white
This is a
foil?
regular foil.
That is a good card. We might want to sleeve that up.
During your turn, Yuna and TCG Tony over here, you can go ahead and let me know what
Yeah,
the value
look up
of
the
a
price
Yuna
of this
is.
card.
I
Yuna or
got
Yuna?
you
Yuna.
right
Yuna.
now.
All right, this is probably in
Yeah.
the 30 range. I just want to put on camera so I can read real quick. So it says, during your turn, Yuna and enchantment creatures
Make
you
sure you
control
look up the foil.
have trample, lifelink, and ward. Very good for Selesnya. At the beginning of your end step, return up to target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield with finality count on it. Okay.
Alrighty, so what I'm
pretty useful.
seeing
Yep.
right now is
Try not
the
to-
market price is 46, but the last sold was 27.
Okay, so in the $20 to $30 range, not bad.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so we have another. What is
That's a
this?
Dovin's Veto.
Is this it is a Dovin's Veto.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's an uncounterable spell, and it's a counter spell. It's an uncounterable counter spell.
Yep.
Not bad, and that is cool art.
Beautiful.
Oh,
these-
Peter's gonna love that card.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Here's my question. I assume there's multiple foil treatments of these cards?
So I actually don't think so. I think that these only come in foil and non-foil.
Really?
However, the alt arts of the other characters come in surge foil.
Okay.
I heard that there's surge foil basics. I don't know if that's true, but I heard that there's surge foil basics.
Jill Shivas the Mom. I believe we've seen this already,
Yes.
so we'll move on.
It's an extended.
Blue Mage's Cane. Job
Yes,
select.
another job select card.
What is job select?
So job select, basically like for Mirrodin, you make a 1/1 hero creature token, and you attach the equipment to it as it enters the battlefield.
Oh, cool.
So like some of these seem expensive, but you have to remember that it's also just a creature as well, you know?
Yeah. No, that's cool. I
Yeah.
like that ability. Eye of Nidhogg from Final Fantasy. This looks like XIV, so that is.
14.
Thank you.
Yep.
What is this? Anyway.
Peter would know. He
Yeah, no one
lives
knows
and
14
plays,
or Eye of Nidhogg.
Not a 14.
Let's see.
person.
Enchanted creatures of black dragon with. You know what? Someone tell me briefly what the Eye of Nidhogg is and what its relevance is in the game of Final Fantasy. If I like your answer, you will get yourself a Play Booster pack. We'll get back to that. Holy smokes, Excalibur!
Wait, was
2.
the Yuna was the surge foil or was it the regular?
Regular foil.
It was the regular. So the surge foil right now, what I'm seeing
This is a stream of ADHD, by the way.
the
Everyone's on
last
different wavelengths.
sold was 353, and it's hilarious because it was lightly played because of WotC.
Yeah, right.
But the surge foil, its last sold was 27.
Very cool. This is. There is another Excalibur in the game already, so Excalibur 2 makes sense.
Yes. Well, I'm trying to remember. So Excalibur 2 is specifically a reference to a weapon in Final Fantasy IX. It's one of the hardest to get weapons in any of the Final Fantasy games. Basically, the second that you start Final Fantasy IX, countdown starts. And if you get to a certain point near the end of the game before that countdown ends, Excalibur 2 will be accessible to you.
Holy shit.
Otherwise, you just can't get it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, you can explore. Your first run, you're gonna play through the
nice.
game. Your second run, you're gonna go get back.
Yeah.
Eden, Seat of the Sanctum. What do we got here? This is a town. Makes a colorless. Mill 2 cards, and you may sack this land. When you do, return target. Wow, what value!
So something that I really like about that card is the fact that you mill the 2 cards, and then you get to choose whether or not you sacrifice that land. So if you don't like the cards that you get, you could just use 5 mana to mill yourself every turn.
Wow.
So that is just a self-mill card.
I love that. That's a cool card. Clash of the
Icons.
Icons. Choose one or more. Target creature you control fights. Target creature opponent controls. Very useful, this fight mechanic. Remove a lore counter from target saga you control. Also very cool. And put a lore... Oh, that's really cool. It's a way to basically manipulate your lores, your sagas, and also do some fighting. Which fighting, in mono green, there's not a lot of creature removal, so fighting is one way to do it.
Sagas are going to be a lot of fun in the limited format of this.
What was the saga commander from? There was a saga commander. Was it Kamigawa or was it Lord of the Rings?
So there was a bunch of them.
Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, Tom Bombadil was Lord of the Rings. He's a 5-color. There was also a 3-color one from Assassin's Creed. So there's a whole bunch of...
Yeah, sagas are in.
In fact, that it's a Naya commander from Assassin's Creed that deals with Saga. Naya happens
Another
to be
Final
the
Fantasy
summoner
15,
colors.
and it's a
for the most
legendary.
part.
Ignis Sienta.
Yeah, he's like one of Noctis's
Yes.
like royal like friends.
Okay.
And he makes a lot of food, which is the reference
Food-
there.
That's
Food
a good
tokens.
reference. Ah, we
That's
got
funny.
the card.
That's funny.
Yeah, and there's Prompto taking a selfie.
Oh yeah, I love that. That's funny.
Yeah.
So he's like Guile in Street Fighter.
No, he's not.
No? Oh, 'cause
No.
I'm kind of getting that.
Guile's
vibe.
way cooler.
Oh, really? Okay. That's weird. I've never heard of Guile being called cool.
Yep.
Overkill. Okay,
It's a fun
I've
card.
seen this. Everybody's seen this.
We're Yu-Gi-Oh now.
Yeah, we are Yu-Gi-Oh now. I mean, we're so many things. We're SpongeBob. Target creature gets minus 1,000 essentially. Indestructible, no longer. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
I feel it's a little overpriced actually.
Overkill?
Yeah,
It's
3
like
mana?
it's a very much on like it's a very normal removal spell for black.
Yeah,
For
that's fair.
limited.
Yeah.
It's what you would see in limited. It's never going to
Yeah,
see anything
yeah, you're
outside
right.
of that.
But you would definitely pull this if you were doing the pre-release tomorrow.
Oh yes, high. That's a high pick.
Yeah. So
in a
let me do
draft.
a plug on pre-release because you are a hell of the. I like Jeremy in here because I'm going to toot his horn. Jeremy plays in our pre-releases and he slays. This guy's the one to beat. What is it now? There's a way when you're building decks in pre-release, you often look at certain things.
Do you want me to explain
Yeah, explain
BREAD
them
to
real
people?
quickly, yeah.
So the acronym that I was taught was BREAD, which stands for Bombs, Removal, Evasion, Aggression, Defense. And basically, that's the order of which you would take your picks, or how you would think about the value of cards when you're picking. Obviously, there's a lot of synergies in Limited that would sort of change how you would do that. But for the most part, you would look for cards that, if your opponent does not remove it that turn, that card can potentially win you the game. That would be a bomb. Those are your, oh man, what's a good one? The first one I always think of, what is it? Blood Baron of Escopa from Dragon's Maze. Protection from white, protection from black, 4/4 lifelink. It's just, and he had other abilities too, but like, just cards that say, hey, if you don't get rid of this right away,
It's gonna win you the game.
yeah. Consecrated Sphinx is another great example of a card like
yes,
that.
Consphinx definitely. Okay, I like
Yeah,
that.
but
And
removal is right there next to that,
so
which would
bombs, removal.
evasion. That's your
Evasion.
flying, your tramples, your menace. Menace has become more and more popular to wizards,
Yeah,
and a menace is a
absolutely.
really good mechanic.
And then what's AD again?
Aggression and defense.
Aggression, defense.
Those are your 1 mana 2/1s, your 2 mana 3/3s.
Would defense be like lifelink?
Your defenses are your so that's your bottom of the barrel. A great example of this would be Wall of Denial. Just a card like, hey, I'm more of a controlling deck. I don't want you to beat me with an aggro card, so I'm going to deal with it. Like, another card that I really like that I drafted recently in a wacky draft sort of thing is Ancient Parrot. That's really
Fuego.
nice.
What the hell is this?
So
Hella
basically,
Great Sage. Tell me about this creature.
Final Fantasy IV had like a lot of like, it was like very a lore-driven game. Like there was like 3 parts of the game. Like that's how big the game is. There was Final Fantasy IV, then there was Final Fantasy After Years, like, and Tella is like one of those big characters that's in the game.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have.
Ooh, that's a
Ooh,
foil
the
light up the
Surge
sleeve. Look how
foiling.
not Surge.
I think that's just regular.
That's
foiling,
regular foil, but they're
the coloring
beautiful.
is insane.
Yes.
Because it's like a sunset. That is
Yeah.
beautiful. Screen grab that.
A lot of the
That's
showcase
gorgeous.
cards that I've seen have that. Like, it's
Yeah.
just really nice foiling this
You
time
know what
around.
I've not seen yet from these rather expensive boxes? There's yet to be a curled foil. In fact, the foils are sitting out here are not curling yet. There's yet to be like an unprinted, like it's like a half printed or lines. What I'm saying is, we thankfully so far, 3 packs in, have yet to see the WotC shit. And if you've been around
Well-
long enough, you know what I'm talking about.
To be fair, these were printed in Japan.
So they do a better job with quality. Plus, I have to assume there's when they make a deal as an IP holder with Final Fantasy or with Spider-Man or whatever, they have to have better security controls over the print runs because of how expensive these products are. I would guess.
Yeah. Well, it's also, it seems to me, because even the secret layers have better card stock and better foiling than, like, the regular foiling are rare.
That's beautiful.
They just... Oh, another Kefka.
Yes.
Okay, now
Kefka.
Kefka, is this a villain?
Yes, very
Okay.
much so.
Tell me about Kefka.
So Kefka, he was basically like the assistant to the quote what we all thought was
Yeah.
the main villain, but he winded
Very
up
Jafar-esque.
betraying them and putting the world out of balance. And because he got access to those statues, he became that ruler of ruin. So like, at the end of the game, the great thing about Final Fantasy VI is you can go into Final Fantasy VI after you beat the first half of the game. You can go straight to the ending with like 3 characters in your party. Yes, but it'll be extremely hard. Or you can play through the whole game and you can get your friends back together, and it tells lore to every character. Like Setzer, for an example, like the ship that he got was from an ex-girlfriend that he loved, and they flew together. Or like Terra.
The thing I have to say about Kefka is you're a Dungeons and Dragons player. If there was ever a chaotic evil character on like the way end of the spectrum, his whole thing was just destroy. Like there was no like rhyme or reason beyond this is just what I want to do is just destroy the world. That is like he is wild. He is one of the craziest villains.
Mono Green Maester Seymour. Beginning of combat on your turn, put a number of counters on it equal to his power. That's really useful. Or for 5, Monstrosity, which makes him bigger. X is the number of counters among creatures you control. Wow.
That is an interesting card.
That's an elf, too.
I haven't seen that.
That is a really good, good mono green commander.
Ooh, that's a fun card.
What is this card? The Planisphere?
It's one of the better of the job select cards.
Okay. Very cool.
If you actually read it, it's just... So the main line is whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it, or whenever you draw your 3rd card each turn. So it just gives your creature super prowess. They keep working their way
up and down. It's like second card gets value, 3rd card gets value. Eventually, the whole damn game gets value. A really cool looking swamp.
Yeah, eventually we're just going to get every even card you draw.
Yeah. Like, I'm still waiting for them to screw up because they've printed Void Winnower, which says you can't
Void Winnower.
And like I'm just imagining they'll be like, and they print the you can't odd. And then just like you can't do anything.
I've already pointed this out to you. I hate that Wizards did this. There's a card in this set that just says the next time you would flip 1 or more coins this game, that's the other side of Fang. If you want to flip it over and show the other half of the.
Oh yes, that was the merge guy. So if we find the merge guy, Vigilance. Wow, this is a lot. Vigilance, Menace, Trample, Reach, Haste. When this dies, destroy target permanent and return target non-legendary permanent card from your grave. Wow.
This is kind of crazy,
that's
bro.
Beefcake.
You have to sacrifice 2 creatures for it. But
that's fire.
An Egyptian god card out here, bro.
These two together.
It's very Yu-Gi-Oh.
It is Yu-Gi-Oh. It is Yu-Gi-Oh. That's fair because, where Yu-Gi-Oh is right now.
Queen
Braun,
I believe.
Attacks create a 0/1 black wizard creature token with whenever you cast a non-creature spell. This creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. That's really good.
She is from Final Fantasy IX. She is the mother, not surrogate mother, more adoptive mother of Garnet. But she is the queen of the land who gets kind of corrupted as
one of my favorite characters.
Locke.
Cool stuff.
That's just
another Final Fantasy VI character.
Cargo ship. Spend this mana to cast only artifact spells. Very nice.
Yep.
What the hell is that? An Ihor.
Ahriman. Those are, I guess I have one on my shirt right here. Look at that.
Yeah. Is this your FF shirt?
That's my Final Fantasy shirt.
Oh, no kidding. Can you? I don't know if you can see that. That's pretty cool.
They
dressed
can
up for the occasion.
Yeah, good for you. And I just stepped on a dog. We have dogs. Sack another creature or artifact, draw a card. Simple.
Yes, very solid card, especially for limited at a common.
This
is a great... So, you'll notice that he is running at a train.
Yes.
Now, why is a card called Suplex running at a train?
You have to ask. Yes. Up and suplexes
that is a reference to the ability Suplex from Final Fantasy VI, right? Let you take basically any enemy in the game, throw them up in the air, and then throw them down.
Well,
now,
technically, you could not do that to the train. It was a bug.
You weren't supposed to be able to, but you could.
Yeah.
Do you see this played out in the game? Like
yes. So the whole boss fight is you running away from the train. So, like, in context, you are literally running away from the train. You turn around, grab the train, jump in the air, and slam it back down, only to start running again.
The train is carrying people to the afterlife. So that's why I was tracing you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, it's a ghost train.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're actually on the train before the fight.
That's pretty fire.
Yeah.
I like that. All
Another
right.
hero.
Summon Titan.
Nice.
What do we got here?
That's just a really cool
Ryan
card.
asks, how much silver is he bringing at midnight for you?
All the silver.
All
Silver,
the
by the way,
silver,
for my
bro.
silver collectors is up to $35 spot price right now. I'm a silver guy. All right. Summon Titan, mill 5 cards, return all lands. Cards from your. Oh, this might go in Multani. Until end of target creature you gain gets. Oh my god, yes.
Wait, hold on. Who's summoning Titan? Who's the,
So let's see. That is Final Fantasy 15,
so it's probably Noctis.
possibly.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have a name, he's just Titan?
No,
So Titan is a common summon in the game.
Yeah, it's a common summon.
Yeah,
but
just usually your generic Earth elemental summon does
I like
Earth
that.
damage.
Alright, I'm gonna put that aside for me. I like that.
No, but it's a
Ooh,
saga.
what is
So
this?
turn it over.
What
Let's
is
see
this?
what it has.
Oh wait. No, there's nothing there.
No.
Oh, really?
What is this? 2 heavens as
That is
one.
Ishan.
I don't remember what is that from?
Oh, that is Kamigawa.
Okay.
Yeah, which is actually, funny enough, this card goes good with a lot of sets, mechanics, just randomly. The most recent set had Mobilize, was the mechanic from Dragons of Tarkir.
Yes.
This would just double all your Mobilize triggers.
Attacking a
and
triggered
it's a Mario
ability
card.
to do a permanent control triggers an additional time.
Yeah.
That is, and what a.
Oh, I love
that's
this
some
art.
fire art. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie. I know
lightning,
nothing about this.
Final
That's
Fantasy
fire
13.
art. Yeah.
It's
I'm a fan. I could just see that in
yeah.
the command zone, being like, "That's fire."
yeah.
And we have eject.
Ooh, alternate
jet.
eject.
Okay. This is the guy who we flip over and is a turboed guy.
Yep.
All right, Jeremy. I'm gonna pull that aside too. I'll be giving you money later. What do we got? Heidegger. Heidegger.
Shinra Executive. That is Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
Now he plays more of a role in the remake than he did in the original games,
Yes.
right? Yeah. I'm just
But
replaying.
the real life equivalent, Shinra's the equivalent of the BP oil spill.
What?
Shinra's more than that. Shinra's
Well-
wild.
Yeah.
So
Times
little
10.
lore for lore drop for
Yeah,
Final
go ahead.
Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
So the entire world is like their electricity is pretty much run on
The life stream.
Mako. Yeah. So Mako is what they call their energy source, but what Mako is actually the life stream of the planet. And
Oh.
what happens is that creatures will die and become Mako, but they're taking that Mako from the planet. So,
So it's literally oil.
it is
It's literally
very
oil.
much an analogy
Okay,
for oil.
I like that.
But it's like, yes. In fact, Avalanche, who is like the rebel group that you join in the start of the game, eco-terrorists. Almost like complete analogous of eco-terrorists.
Tifa, definitely an
I
Almoth.
love that card.
Any landfall tribal,
Yeah.
absolutely. In
Another
fact,
Final
I
Fantasy
think,
VII card.
if memory serves, Quinn was talking about trying to get one of these into his Nissa deck, because why wouldn't
Yeah, but there is a alt art
Very useful.
Tifa that
Yeah.
you might want more.
he? Ooh, that's
More
a nice
gorgeous
looking
lands.
Where's that from?
mountain. This mountain? This
That
looks
is Final
like-
Fantasy 4?
4.
I think that's probably one of the dragon temples.
We have a summon.
That should be from 8 because it calls it a GF, which is short for Guardian Force.
You've played a few of these games.
I
like
played
that.
8, yeah.
I like that. Okay.
He's, I believe, the one of the first
Yeah.
you get.
If it was one of the first summons.
Yeah. I know
We
there's one
have
that you
a-
can just download from a computer.
Primal
Yes.
Burrito?
I think that was Ramu.
No, Ramu you get at the Flying Saucer. Or Golden Saucer, one
We
of
have
the two.
Fang Fearless.
Oh, that's
something?
the flip card.
This
The
is
meld card?
Oh, the meld card. Heard.
Yeah, it's just the non-nice version of it.
Search live for up to 2 basic land cards and or town
Oh,
cards.
it's your
with names,
new,
put them into the
explosive
battlefield.
vegetation.
It is a new explosive vegetation. That will.
But it gets towns as well.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
I really like. There's a flip town that turns into a vehicle that just says whenever it deals combat damage, draw a card.
Shit. Okay.
Really good.
Windhurst. Hey.
yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong with tapped lands that give you everything you need. This is great and limited.
Their
This is-
lands.
Yeah.
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 Also gorgeous art once again. Love.
Absolutely. And a Bard's Bow
Yeah.
and a Thunder Magic.
I,
Good stuff.
Yeah. So it's actually funny. Thunder Magic.
Mhm.
So there's a reference here in the Magic in the Final Fantasy games. Magic is tiered in a sense where the first it's basically 3 different levels or 4 levels depending on the game. Some of them have a 4th level. But here you'll see Thunder, Thundara, Thundaga.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 levels of Thunder Magic. And you would, as you level up, you would unlock those levels, which is why it does more and more damage as you put more and more mana into it.
How? I'd like to give away another pack for one of our watchers. What can I do? What do you? Maybe. Oh, here we go. a trivia question from the community that stumps Jeremy, but it
All right,
must.
I'm starting a poll.
It
All right,
must
ask
be
the question.
It must be
7,
in
8, or 9.
7,
Let's
8,
go.
or 9. So a trivia question from Final Fantasy 7, 8, or 9 that he doesn't get right. I'll allow for 3. We'll give away 3 total packs if he gets them wrong. If he gets them right, I'll give Jeremy the pack. So there we go. All right, here's our next pack. Hero. Whoa.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's
Bahamut.
cool. Destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Draw 2 cards. Holy crap, it costs 9. This creature deals
Well,
damage.
this is like the
equal to mana
strongest
value of
character
other
in Final
permanents
Fantasy
you
universe.
control is this a god?
Yes.
It's a yes, sort of.
9/9 for 9. I mean, there are ways to definitely get extra mana and to cheat things into play, but wow, that's a big old beast.
It's Bahamut's been in a lot of Final Fantasy games, but there's different Bahamuts. So, yeah. Which one is this one from? Sorry.
No, it's fine.
10.
All right. So Ashley asked,
Ooh, Ashley's got a question for you.
yes, the eyes of Nidhogg were the source of Nidhogg's power, and
that's
remaining artifacts when they were ripped from his sockets.
Oh, that was the answer to the Eye of Nidhogg question.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, Ashley, you got yourself a pack. Go ahead and message. I'm not sure if that's my Ashley or different Ashley, but if
It's definitely our
it's
Ashley.
definitely our Ashley.
Ashley, message me. I'm
Congratulations,
gonna
you got
get
a
you your
pack.
pack, girl.
Congratulations.
If you can get Des on the stream, go ahead and see if she wants to ask a question as well. And again, if we have any questions from Final Fantasy 7, 8, or 9 that stump Jeremy, you will get yourself a Play Booster pack. I'm going to give away 3 total. All right, so we have a Bahamut. Ooh, Hero
That
of
is
Light. What is
gorgeous.
this? This is Acaline Resplendent Cather.
Hold
Adaline Resplendent yeah.
Let's
You wanna,
sleeve
her,
that
I
up.
don't want to reveal what's underneath, just in case.
Okay.
She'd be a
so
nice one,
that's-
though. All right. Maybe we want to look up the pricing of this particular card
Ryan,
right
there's
here.
about Bahamut in
So,
almost
Hero of
every
Light's power
Final Fantasy
equal
game.
creatures you control. Whenever this is a reprint, I'm not familiar with every card anymore.
So this is Ferion. This is a Final Fantasy II character.
Okay,
He's the main character.
and that's what we got. He's the main character. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Hero of Light.
All right.
That was such a non-nerd response.
Yeah, I wish I knew more. When we do Spider-Man, I will be nerding out with all y'all. I'm just saying. All right, Night of the Round. We've already seen one of these.
Yes, we have.
Oh,
Still
look at this
Skin.
guy. He's one of the
A little-
promos, I
yep.
believe.
Little Moogle from Final Fantasy IX.
What is a Moogle?
So Moogle is you'll actually see it's a creature type, so it's a race of beings. They're heavily associated with chocobos, but I don't know the full lore behind Moogles. They've
So
been in a bunch of
basically,
games.
if you ran a shop in Final Fantasy, it would be ran by Moogles.
Yeah.
Where's my camera? Yes, it is ran by Moogles. Okay, that's fair. Okay,
Yeah.
moving on. We have ourselves a
Um,
Wrecking Ball
Ryan.
arm.
Ryan asked, how many Bahamuts are there in Final Fantasy?
How many Bahamuts are there in Final Fantasy?
Altogether?
Seven.
In Final Fantasy 7
There's only
alone?
one, dog.
Hold on, that's your answer, but we have to stump Jeremy. So what is your answer?
Okay. Bahamut, there's only one version of Bahamut in every Final Fantasy game.
That is not true.
Which one?
I'm trying to remember because there was a Bahamut Zero in a same Final Fantasy game as a Bahamut. It happens actually quite often where you'll have a boss Bahamut and a summon Bahamut as 2 different beings. I'm trying to remember. I don't think Final Fantasy VII had a Bahamut Zero.
No, they did have a variant though. They had a variant, but I mean, as the character, he's only asking in Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy VII?
There was only one Bahamut, but then again, we don't know because the game is still being made. The
What?
remake is still being. So they've remastered Final Fantasy VII,
Yeah.
and
Oh, so they're adding new content?
they're adding. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of new content they're adding now.
All right, that question sucked. Give
I
us
think
a
the
better
answer
one.
is 1, though.
It
I
is
might be
1.
wrong about that.
All right. So Sean Keaton asked, question for Jeremy.
Yeah.
Is there any way Aerith to survive her encounter at the end of Disc 1 if you beat the game with her?
So, without glitches, no. You can glitch the game to skip the sequence where you lose Aerith, and funnily enough, there's actually dialogue in the game past where Aerith would die for Aerith that will trigger if she's in your party. But without glitches, no. There's no way to save Aerith.
So hold on. Ryan says it's not 1. Ryan, you're about to make me do my Joe Rogan and ask how many Bahamuts.
All right. Keep talking, because I'm just showing off the commons and uncommons. But let me know who's right on those two things.
Diamond Weapon. Which
It's a fog.
Yes. Final Fantasy VII. Trying to remember. There's a bunch of weapons.
So there's 3 versions of Bahamut. So this is the thing. You have to be clear. You have to clarify your question, right? When you're talking about Final Fantasy, Des is on the Facebook stream. Des, I need you to integrate into the YouTube stream. Thank you. All right. But,
sorry,
but yeah, Ryan, you have to be more specific about your questions, because the thing is,
this is a nice chill stream as we do a rip and stay here at the Basement of Collectors.
Yep.
All right, we've gotten through about half the first box.
So,
like I said, we're giving away packs if you can stump Jeremy.
There's 3, yes. But here's the thing.
Or Tony,
when
you
you guys are specific on your Final Fantasy VII questions, please be mindful that there is a remake. So when you're saying...
Well, is the remake out?
Yes.
The remake is out.
Okay.
So,
and most of my knowledge is from the original
ask
7.
us another question.
From the original 7, 8, or 9.
So, yeah, from 7, 8, or 9, right? So, in the original, there were 3, as it stated. There's Bahamut, Neo Bahamut, and Bahamut Zero.
Okay,
all right?
that was it.
All
I'm
right.
trying to remember if that was 7 or 8.
So are we counting that as an official
Chocobo.
question?
Yeah, we'll
we can
give it
the
to him.
pack.
So
but you have
Ryan
to be
won
more
on that?
specific.
Was that Ryan who got that pack?
Yeah,
okay.
Ryan.
And then what was the second question?
Yeah, that was mine.
The second question. No, he got it right.
Oh, Jeremy got it right.
Yeah, Jeremy got it right.
Jeremy got a pack. Congratulations to you.
Okay. So Ryan gets a play booster, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, you got one right. Ryan got one right. We have one more question. Des, if you want to hop into the YouTube and ask a Final Fantasy question from 7, 8, or 9.
Please go into
or
the
anyone
YouTube.
Does,
Birthday
do it
girl.
in our YouTube. Yes, it is Dez's birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh,
happy
birthday.
birthday.
I have a feeling you're going to get one of these anyway since it is your birthday. I just remembered that. I knew. Obviously I knew, but like, you know. All right, let's move on.
Another Chocobo.
Boom. What do we have here?
Golbez.
Golbez from FF14, number 4, right? Yeah.
So Golbez is one of the villains in Final Fantasy IV, and he was also like the brother of the main character Cecil.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, he winded up being like the final boss and all types of other stuff.
There's a lot of interesting storylines. Ooh, that's a foil labyrinth.
Wow, I like this. That's sexy. Lab Maniac is basically Thassa's before Thassa's. For those that didn't know, it was the original. Well, there's a Jason that also does the same thing. Now I get to say some nerdy shit.
I was in the Facebook chat. So, I couldn't tell.
What was that?
Des was like, oops, I was in the Facebook chat, and I was like, oh, I couldn't tell.
So Lab Maniac was one of the original win cons that basically said that as long as you didn't have a library and you drew a card without having a library, you win the game. Funny story, Jorman, who's one of the ranked highest players on the Eastern Seaboard, he used to play Lab Maniac, and he stopped playing it in his deck because and he always had counters and interaction and everything else. He would stop playing it because on upkeep before draw, it's a split-second red card. I think it costs like 5 mana. And a possession or something like that, you can split second grab control of the card. So what I would do is I'd grab his lab man, he'd go to draw and die, and there was not a damn thing he could do. And
unless he had a morph card that let him draw. But...
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, but I mean like he had all the interaction, he had the pieces, but they couldn't stop that. And I did it to him twice, and he stopped playing lab man. And then Nossus came out.
I play Laboratory Maniac, but I always pair him with a Grand Abolisher or a Kutzil.
Oh yeah, but that is.
That's gorgeous.
I do like this art. I don't know why, but I am attracted. It's a good art.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Des says she has a question.
Oh, we have a question. Go ahead.
What do you get in Calm in the highest tower, and who is it for? Which game, Des? You have to be very specific.
We need questions from either 7, 8, or 9, and you have to be specific to which one it is. And if you can stump Jeremy, we'll throw you a free play pack. I'm going to keep that going for a little bit longer. We got a few packs in this box, and it's a fun way to interact with you guys.
Yep.
Whenever you cast a non-creature
spell,
you may
Fantasy
pay X for X
7.
as a mana.
7?
Okay, so what's the question?
What item do you get in Calm in the highest what item do you get in Calm in the highest tower, and who is it for?
Calm.
That's really good.
Just 1, 2, or 3. You're a Des. We're asking for a lifeline. Just 1, 2, or 3.
Oh, holy shit!
I can't
Buster
remember.
Sword is
Oh,
broken.
Buster Sword's incredible.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
Equip
that is
creature plus
Cloud's
3/+2.
weapon.
Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Then you may cast a spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to the damage without. That's crazy.
Yes, and the Cloud Commander, when you summon it from the command zone, you could equip that for free, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm stumped. I don't know what's in the tallest tower of Calm.
Ooh, that's gorgeous. Look at this island. So, do you have the answer, or did she just go?
Hold on, no. We're asking, is it in disc 1, 2, or 3? Because the thing is, when you go back to the tower, it's all disc.
Beautiful.
She's like, I'm playing Hogwarts while I'm watching. Thanks.
Good job, Des. Does anyone else? You know what? Can you type into the Discord "Stump Jeremy" on FF 7, 8, or 9 for a play booster pack?
I got you.
And those are the things we offer to our Discord players. So if you see any of the QR codes, hop in our Discord. It's also on our website, collectorsemporium.com, and you can hop right into Discord and play along with us and have some fun. Garland.
Oh, there's Garland.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's what you're a Garland ass guy, bro.
I am.
Yeah, his name is Jack Garland.
I don't know why that makes me a Garland guy, but okay.
No, but you gotta play.
So he actually is a
What
bad.
did he do? Tell me.
What was
he's got
that
a back
game,
too. I'm sorry.
Smith? The prequel to
We
Final
cast
Fantasy
dice on the
1.
bottom of your
What happened?
library.
Paradise something, Crisis in Paradise.
I don't know.
No, there was a game that came out. It was like it played like 15. It was a prequel, and you played with like Jack, and
there was
all
a
the
game,
creatures that
it was a,
appear in the temples
a
are your
CDH
friends.
game going on,
And
a
Jack is
couple
like
months
one of
ago.
the main villains.
Oh, I don't know.
They had made so many copies of Ristic Study. On a 4-player game, there was 9 Ristic Studies. And so the question would be, do you pay the 9? It was so fucking gross. Oh
Jesus, bro.
I had a game of 3 Ristic Studies on the field one.
Oh my god.
Recently.
Look, here's how you fix Commander. If you feel it needs fixing. You ban Thassa's, you ban Ristic. The entire meta
So
changes.
they can't
everything.
do that, Kevin. There's a Ristic Study showcase in this
Yeah,
set.
I know.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to change the game up,
Do you want another Mana Crypt situation? Come on.
I'm gonna give you a hug. We have a history. 923. Never forget. You know. All right.
I'm gonna put that as a stream banner. Just coming down. Never forget 923.
Never forget.
It's on all my decks that used to have mana crypts in them. All right, here we go. Ooh, that's
Another
kind of
hero.
spicy art right there.
Like a little hero veil. You get.
Yo,
Ooh, that is gorgeous.
What is that little
That's
Moogle?
Stillskin.
Is this the same
That's
guy?
the same
he's different
guy,
art.
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm. That's
What
not
is it? Oh, that's a
foil, is it?
counterspell.
No, yeah, it's a counterspell. Beautiful counterspell.
Pretty cool. Is this something in the game that is like why use this art for counterspell?
So for the showcase cards, not all of them. Like some of them use the in-game art, but this is the official artist for Final Fantasy. Like this artwork. Let me see what game this is from. Once again, I don't really. I think this is actually from 2. So this is from Final Fantasy 2. This artwork would be made basically before the games were even fully conceptualized. So you'll notice some differences with some of the characters, but this is sort of the artwork that he goes. I don't know why they chose that for counterspell though.
I mean,
another-
Final Fantasy 2 doesn't really get a lot of love, bro.
This is different.
Yeah.
This
Shadow.
might be one of the assassins that Anthony was asking for his assassin deck.
Most
Shadow?
likely.
Ooh.
Shadow deals combat damage to
yeah.
a player. You may sack another non-land permanent. If you do, draw 2 cards, and each opponent loses life equal to the mana value of the sacked permanent.
So
That sounds
let
like
me
something you would
let me
put in
give you
that
some
deck.
lore about Shadow.
Sure.
You see that little dog behind him? So that dog would literally get insta kill. But Shadow was like this wandering vagabond, and he lost his memories in a sense. He landed on the shore of this town of full magical users, and he wound up making a baby, one of them, and then something happened to the mom, and he just became an assassin. He became a cold assassin, and
So he's
you-
John Wick.
Yes,
That's all you have to say.
yeah, but his dog is alive, and his dog is one of the heaviest hitters.
That's pretty cool.
He's a ninja. He can throw stars at you. He can throw ninja scrolls. He has a whole bunch of cool
His
things.
dog is actually in the commander set as well.
Oh,
really?
Yeah,
Interceptor. Yeah,
He should be a partner then.
No, so he's actually really cool. So Interceptor, what he does is he gives all of your Assassin's Menace and says whenever a legendary creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you can pay 2 and a black to bring Interceptor back from your graveyard, I think, to the battlefield.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
Next up. Oh, did we have any comments on that guy?
It's out of my wheelhouse.
What game is he from?
FFXIV. I think that's
14.
Yeah, that's a Peter question.
That's a Peter question.
Yeah.
All right.
It's our blind spot.
That's all right. That's all right. Tella, great. Apparently,
yeah,
nobody's
we
got
opened
any
another one of
stumpers
those.
for Jeremy on 7, 8, or 9.
Yeah.
Tella, great.
It's not
Sage.
that hard.
I like that. Nice, simple, specific
Yeah,
forest.
with some chocobos on it.
Let me tell you, I'm looking forward to when Zelda is in the game of Magic at this point, because we'll see some really cool forest
Dude,
cards too.
Triforce win the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Bro.
Triforce of Power. Whenever you play the Triforce of Power.
I'm telling you, I think Legend of Zelda set would be fantastic.
Yeah.
All the equipments that you can put in for the set.
Yeah.
Like, you can have a transforming Sheik and Zelda.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Ooh, a flip over card? Yo. If you're watching Wizards, get to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they're on top of it already.
Ooh, it's
So
a
like Kevin's
legendary
on
chocobo.
stream. Is he selling anything?
Dark Knight Greatsword.
I kind of want one of those for I'm building a bird deck. Actually, Choco's in the set. I want my Choco
We haven't
commander.
pulled any of the big chocos yet.
No, we didn't pull any of the good Chocobos.
Okay. Well, we're like 4 packs in, and we'll start Choco Mog.
Chocomog. That's a summon from Final Fantasy VII, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I'm trying to remember if it was Chocomog. There was a Mog summon from Final Fantasy VII that was basically unobtainable in America because you needed a side product that was only released in Japan in order to get it.
Ryan asks in the Discord, and I pulled this up. Ryan, if we're going to cap you at 2 packs, just so we give everybody a shot at it. But who is from FF9? Who is Zidane's bro?
Zidane's bro? Oh man, I hate that I'm blanking on his blank. Is it just blank?
Are you serious? That's the name of the character? We also need an answer, Ryan, since you're watching. Let us know what the actual answer is too.
He was one of the guys on the Tantalus. Man, I'm super blanking right now.
During your turn, you may play cards from your
If it was blank, it'd be hilarious, but I don't think it is.
Mint says he can pull some obscure questions. Ask the obscure questions in the
Dude,
YouTube.
you played Dissidia. You should know this.
I didn't play Dissidia, actually.
What?
No.
Another counterspell, or Dovin's Veto.
So I guess I'm gonna have to loan you a PSP then.
Oh, Titus. I vaguely FF8
Yes.
or
Ooh.
10.
Yeah.
Beginning of combat, on your turn, you may move a counter from target creature you control onto a second target you control.
It's Cujo.
Kuja?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going... You said bro, not brother. It's...
Oh, is there a difference in FF?
Well, he said
No.
brother afterwards.
If you said brother, yeah, I would have said Kuja. But,
That
you know.
question sucked. Try again.
Yeah.
I want a more specific question if we're giving away $10 FF packs. All right.
Yeah.
Titus.
But yeah,
Very cool.
Kuja's the main bad guy of Final Fantasy
yes.
9.
And that's how everything finds out.
Bugenhagen Wise Elder.
I've not
Alrighty.
seen Bugenhagen.
Sean Keen asks for Jeremy. I got one for Jeremy.
Sure.
In Final Fantasy IX, what was the name of the group of thieves? Extra point if you remember the name of the group. Performed as detractors to capture the princess.
Didn't I just say the Tantalus?
Oh, here's,
Yes.
here's a search foil.
Like,
If
it
you
was the
haven't
crew of the Tantalus.
seen the surge foil, that's what it looks like.
I'm trying to remember if they had a name
Pretty
just beyond
spicy looking,
Tantalus.
too. You see this?
Because Tantalus was the name of the... oh, you got a surge foil.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's nice.
Flip
Let's,
that over. Flip that bad boy over.
Yeah, because I think the surge foil is also in the back.
Yep,
Whoa.
Look at that.
Sleeve
Impossible
that
to
up.
read.
Alright.
Let's give you
So,
a sleeve.
you got the group, but he's asking what's the name of the play.
The name of the play? Man. So I can't remember the name of the play, but I know, ironically, the point of the play was about them rescuing the princess, which turned out, they were actually kidnapping the princess. And she actually wound, yeah. It was funny. There's a card in here that references the fact that at some point, even though the plan the entire time was to, steal away Garnet, there, at some point, Garnet comes and asks Zidane to steal her away. That's,
All right, Sean, give us the name of the play because we knew the group.
yeah. I don't think it was Rescue the Princess. It was.
That's cool. I love this art. Sorry, they're doing nerd stuff, but I'm just looking at the art right now. Hold on. This is a mono-white commander. Yannette? Vanette?
Vanette. It's also outside my wheelhouse. That's.
What was
14.
all right? So we have a whole bunch of people asking questions.
No shit. Free packs for questions. What did you expect?
The play was, I want to be your canary. Thank you,
I want to be your
Robert.
canary. That's right. He should get that.
All right, Sean,
pack
you
for that.
get a pack.
Whenever you cast a legendary spell, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn.
Please message
7.
me on
Exile
Facebook
target
or
non-permanent.
Instagram.
Well, by the way, you have to come into the store to grab the packs. We're not shipping anything.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
It's why it's called Rip and Stay.
There it is. Rip and stay, baby. Other people may ship.
Ooh,
We stay.
that's a mono right.
It
Alright.
is a mono white. It's also got.
Lily
Who's,
asked, what was the
Reki?
reward? All right, guys.
Oh, sorry. We have like 5
Lily
things here.
asked, what was the reward for jumping rope for 1,000 times in Final Fantasy IX?
Jumping rope 1,000 times in Final Fantasy IX.
Kevin, you fucked up by having me add everyone.
We'll cap this
It
in a few
was-
more questions.
It was a key item that did pretty much nothing except say that you jump roped 999 times, I believe.
Alright.
But I can't remember the name of the item.
Fire art.
Um,
They honestly just don't look like magic cards, but like, so cool.
yeah, it was basically you just get the title of like Master Jump Roper.
All right, Lily, is that correct?
I don't think there's a card you get. There might be a whatchamacallit card, Tetra Masters card.
Alrighty.
I gotta be honest. Just
The next question is,
side
what
note,
was the name of the
foiling is
injured
gorgeous.
Burmishin
they
who
did an
almost had the
amazing job
statue
with this
fall on
card.
him near the end of Disc 1?
Which game?
Final Fantasy IX. What was the name of the ninja Burmishin who almost had the statue fall on him at the end of Disc 1?
The name of the ninja?
It's called the King of Jump Rope. Lily, you get a pack.
King of Jump Rope. I mean, I was right about what it was, though.
You can menace, lifelink.
The
beginning
name of the
combat turn,
ninja.
exile, blah, 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 blah,
I don't know about the ninja. I
No,
know,
it was Burmishin. Called a Burmishin.
Peter really liked this, and I think it is Pride kind of thing. So happy
Secret
Pride, everybody.
Rendezvous?
Yeah, that's
Happy
cute.
Pride Month.
Oh, with
y'all.
Barrett.
Yeah.
There's multiple ones because there's you can actually.
Yeah, there's several variants of this. I've
Yeah.
seen that.
You know why there's several variants of that?
Why?
So there's actually a moment in that game where
have either one.
there's a hidden like relationship stat you can have with the different characters in your party,
Oh, that's
and depending
cool.
on who you have the highest stat with,
Yeah.
you go on this like not Ferris wheel but like gondola ride. Yeah, it's a gondola ride, and Barrett's the hardest one to get because there's very few questions that Barrett asks you that'll affect his relationship score.
Huh.
Whereas all of the girls in your party, who is like the other like intended people you go on this with, have more questions and like depending on who you go with, because it's either more flirty or like in the case of Yuffie because Yuffie's kind of
All
young,
right.
it was more like a brother sister.
Jeremy, for Rob's question, the Burmishin, do you know the answer? It's at the end of Disc 1.
I don't know.
Alrighty, Robert, you get a pass.
I knew what was going to happen. I knew you guys were going to go for the most obscure,
Yeah.
gosh darn
Well, of
questions. You're like,
course.
who is the creator and his stepson?
That's why I said it's not hard.
But I'm glad you're all
His
having
name
fun.
is Cal. His wife is who's with him is Way. After the events of Disc 1, you can find them in Lindblom.
In Lindblom.
Good reference points. Good reference points.
Good job, good job.
Okay, so I just got an update. I just want to mention something else. Yeah, I've got this pre-release set up here. As I've been mentioning to a bunch of you, we are almost at capacity. Yes, we are at 71 of 80 tickets sold for the pre-release. The pre-release is happening tomorrow at 6:30. I would get here because it's going to be very full, and that's all we're doing tomorrow, and selling the product, obviously. But get here around 6:30 if you can. 7 will be when we officially start. Everyone will have their pre-release. They'll have 50 minutes to go ahead and make their best 40-card deck. Then we'll go through it. We will also be running 2 raffles for 2 collector boxes. Okay, they'll be absolutely free for the people that sign up either online or the ones that are playing. Basically, if you sign up online with the last several spots that we have left to sign up with, you'll have chances for 2 collector boxes, absolutely free collector boxes. As a reminder, we have collector boxes for sale starting tonight at midnight. If you buy a collector box, you will get a free bundle. We're going to randomize a bunch of bundles that we have. You'll get a free bundle. You'll get a free set of sleeves. You'll get a free, sorry, I've got this all written down somewhere. A bundle, a playmat, and a deck box. And then we've also got everything else available from the commander decks, the bundles. I've posted lots of videos and pictures of all this stuff. We have the most inventory of anybody. So I just wanted to momentarily pause the video just to let you guys know that that's what's going on today and that we are jiggling the stream right there. All right, let's move on to the next one. Tony took a quick break. I'm going to go through these last 2 packs of Collector Box 1 and see what our other big hits are.
I was just looking through the card list for a second. So one of the main characters, or like the characters in your party from Final Fantasy IX, is Armorant. I don't think they made a card for him, which is a shame. Actually, now that I think about it,
there is still, I believe, a secret layer that's going to be released sometime later this month.
Yeah,
so
but
there's a good chance.
No, they've already released. Yeah,
they did. Okay.
Oh, I really want the Grimoire. If you've seen the Grimoire.
Those
are one of the lands.
Oh, this is one of the towns.
Yes.
And it just tapped. Okay.
So I had to explain this to Anthony.
Yeah.
Because that's an adventure, you can play that land from exile after casting the sorcery. So those are sorceries that are lands later down the line. Or the turn you play them if you want.
So from hand, this is in your hand, you can play it as a land, or you play it as a...
you can play it as a land, or you can play it as a sorcery. But if you play it as a sorcery, you can then play it as a land from exile.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think those lands are better than people think they are right now. That's not foil,
lightning
is it?
Bolt. This is not foil, but this is a lightning bolt.
Yes, it's gorgeous.
Again, everything's up in the air right now. I have to assume this is not a standard legal lightning bolt. They did not put lightning.
No, lightning bolt is not standard legal.
Okay, so
but there is a standard legal Dark Confidant. So
yeah, that's here we go. Bob is back. What is the significance of Thrum the Vestige and why it's would be considered a lightning bolt?
Yeah, that's beyond my wheelhouse as well.
Okay.
Although Thrum usually that's synonymous with lightning, so I could understand that to an extent. There's your the replacement of Golos. Now that Golos is banned.
Oh, okay. Beginning of and then he's Wooburg. Other creatures you control get XX until turn where X the number of towns you control. Okay.
But he has that nice 5-color ability on the bottom there, which lets you play every color.
Yep.
Which means you can play every maze, which thanks to his ability all come into play untapped. So Maze's End has their new general.
Oh wow, cool. If you don't know what Maze's End is, basically you put all the what are they called again?
The mazes, gates.
Gates. Once you put all the gates together, and there's 10 of them, you tap Maze's End and you win the game. Very cool stuff. It used to be, do you remember the deck that used to be like 10 years ago? What was the main deck?
Well, I played with Golos. That's what I was.
The one that used to be like very in vogue with that win strategy is Baby. What the hell's Baby's name?
Child of Alara.
Child of Alara. So anytime, basically
Alara.
just destroy all non-land permanents and just wreck board states, and then you just slowly get out your lands until you win. That was like back around 2010, 2012 era. Wandering Minstrel, very cool. Comforter Shuriken.
Shuriken, yes.
Equipped creature has, whenever this creature attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. If this creature has power greater than the creature, put a 1/1 counter on it equal to the difference. Cool. Thin
that's the better.
Punishment.
I love that art.
What is that? That's just, that's something we've seen already, but just different art.
Well, no, it's a different card.
Enters or attacks, exile a permanent card from your graveyard at random, then create a tap token that's a copy of that card. If it's exile land, repeat the process.
Yes. So you get every land until you hit a non-land in your graveyard.
That's gross. Clive's Hideaway. Hideaways are back.
Yep.
Hideaway, for those that don't know, Hideaway 4, basically this is going to say when it ETBs, look at the top 4 cards of your library, and then you go ahead and put any of them underneath it, and once you fulfill the condition, you get to essentially cast it or put it into play for free. I believe it's put into play.
Cast it.
It is cast. Exile one of these face down, then put the rest on the bottom. Is it cast?
Yes, I believe it's cast.
You may play the exile card. Yeah, play. So
play
the exile card without paying its mana cost. So yes, it'd be cast if you control 4 more legendary creatures. Very useful. We have ourselves a Swamp. Some kind of cool bird. Bird's the word.
I might be interested in writing that off Jeremy. So if you want to
Put
set
that
that
to the side
aside,
for you.
yeah.
Rufus Shina?
Shinra.
Shinra.
Yeah, Shinra's a very notorious name.
This looks like a doubling season art, but I know it's not.
There's a black chocobo on the back. On the back. It's a flip card.
Transforms into Black Chocobo, search your library for a land card, put it in the battlefield, and it has landfall trigger. That's pretty cool.
Yep. That's just a solid card.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No idea. Shanta Totoro.
Yes.
What?
They are dwarves,
If there's
which, as you can
anybody
tell by the art,
else
dwarves
that
are a little bit
wants to
different in
ask
Final Fantasy.
any
Yeah.
Even in Final, well, it depends on a Final Fantasy game.
Please
Like
let
they
us
all
know.
look different.
Do they really?
Kevin,
Sir.
I'm just letting the stream know how many packs we got left for questions.
Let's do 2 more questions.
All right, we
So
got
either
2 more
you
questions.
Or Jeremy will get these last 2 packs.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're gonna make it so gosh darn it.
Oh, of course.
obscure.
I'm a Final Fantasy VI specialist. I've played it on every platform.
I'll tell you what. We'll include Tony in here as well. So if you
Yeah.
stump Tony or Jeremy on Final Fantasy 6, 7, 8, or 9, yeah, then we can go ahead and give either of them a pack, or you a pack if you do it.
Yep. Go ahead.
They're you gotta give them like some relevance, like actual characters involved in the game.
I think those were fair questions.
Yeah. Not like what was the release
Yeah.
date and the price. That
Like-
would be wild.
For-
Toys R Us in 1998.
Yeah. At the very least, for I Want to Be a Canary, I remembered that, like, afterwards.
Yeah.
So,
All
It's
right.
not like I-
on to box 2. What
Yeah.
did you feel about box 1?
honestly, not that great. We got 1 Surge foil, which seems,
I
you
thought
know,
they would be more because
Yeah.
Peter went through a box, had a bunch of sword foils.
yeah,
So pull rates are variable, no doubt.
yeah. So, yeah. So we got one of the bad boxes out of the way. So if you want to come on down and buy one of the good boxes,
Yeah,
you
we're
have
getting rid of
them.
the derpy stuff right now. Pride
Yeah.
Month buff. All right.
Got a hero.
A Jajua.
Ooh,
Okay. I think we've seen this card already.
this we have.
Hey,
that is a
Endwalker
foil
is our
brainstorm.
brainstorm. There
Now, that
is
is a,
brainstorm, highly played commander card.
I'm not sure if you set it aside. The Dovin's Veto.
Yeah, they're all.
I
in there.
believe is a counter to that.
Because they've got a group picture. Yeah, that would be up there.
Yeah. So I
Oh,
believe.
look at that. Oh, that's pretty fire.
Yeah.
Okay. Brainstorm. That's gonna get purchased. That is definitely a sellable card right there. Summon
Yojimbo.
Yojimbo. Exile a target artifact, enchantment, or tapped creature an opponent controls. Very useful. Until your next.
No,
turn. That's a
Yojimbo's
10.
10.
It's 10. That's the samurai dude, right?
Until your next
Um,
turn, creatures
I
can't
think so.
attack you unless they're
So there was a
controlled
lot of
phase.
references. I was
Or create
actually.
X treasure tokens
He
for X is the
wasn't.
number of opponents
So
you
I actually do
control.
remember that
Creature
you
power
can
forward
encounter the
rate.
ninja at the end of the game because it's a similar thing with Gilgamesh, who's actually a NPC you can talk to in Final Fantasy IX. But that's not a ninja. Gilgamesh was a sword user. There's a Gilgamesh.
There's a Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh is a character that is referenced in every Final Fantasy game except for the first couple. And it's funny because Gilgamesh is the only character that's in multiple games that is canonically the same character in every game. Every other character, if they have the same name, they're like quote-unquote different characters.
Guys, so if you're real Final
Oh,
Fantasy
a
fans
different
watching,
rendezvous.
Gilgamesh, what was his first game appearance, and what was the major battle that took place? If
So-
you get this question right, I will give you a playback.
This
Or
I don't know
we'll
about.
take one from you if you get it wrong. So just remember that, Ryan. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know the reference.
Give me that pack back.
Trino, Magic Pot. That's a funny card.
White Mage's Staff.
Yep, make things clerics.
Okay. All right,
Box
so
2.
big hits.
Yeah.
Big hits. Definitely
Big
want to see a
hits.
chocobo. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
a little upset we haven't seen one yet.
All right, Rob asked another question here.
What do you got, Rob?
What was Shadow's role in Final Fantasy VI?
Ooh,
Oh, that'd be a you question,
that
right?
is a you question.
Oh, I thought you would know.
You said 6.
No.
He said 7, 8, 9.
So, Shadow in Final Fantasy VI, his
Ooh,
I remember his partner's name. Is it Clyde, I think it
that's
was?
nice.
If I'm not mistaken.
Chromatic,
chromatic
lantern,
lantern.
cover. Kind of fire.
I'm trying to remember. I think
Yeah.
it was Clyde. I'm gonna look
This legendary creature
Sarah?
at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you control more legendary creatures, you transfer into.
Oh, all right. I was right. Yeah, it was a clock. Yeah. So,
You missed that off camera.
Yo.
I chucked it at him.
yeah.
Gold
All
Bez
right.
again.
Yeah, Rob won another fucking play. He got another one.
All right. Well, you said you got it right.
I got it right for the Final Fantasy VI one.
Oh, okay.
But he got it right for that.
Well, write them down. We have like 2 or 3. Wow, we are filling in real fast on this Final Fantasy pre-release.
You have Cypher from Final Fantasy VIII. Another Golbez. I mean, a lot of Golbezes.
Ooh, I haven't seen the planes yet. What are these? What's going on
So that's a good question. That is Final Fantasy XII. That is outside of my wheelhouse.
there? So now we have the foil of both halves.
Well, we have a Surge foil of this half.
Oh well,
I think that's actually our second foil of
Is
the
it
Neil.
the second?
Getting some. Oh, Elixir is a fun reference to multiple Final Fantasy games.
All right, Rob, you got another play.
So in Final Fantasy, you have
You
potions
got
that
another
heal
play
HP and ethers that heal MP. Elixirs are a combination of the both. They heal MP and HP. In most Final Fantasy games, you can't buy elixirs in stores. You have to find them.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, and so
You can mend them in certain games.
you can, yes. So unfortunately for people like me, that means that I hoard them and never use them ever. I like
Maybe
that.
End step. Each opponent mills X cards for X amount of life you gain this turn. That's so good. That's so good.
That's an Oloro card right
Deadly
there.
Dispute. Okay. I kind of like the art on that. Do we know what's going on here? This is from FF9.
That's from, no, that's not 9.
What is IV?
IV
4.
is 4.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't want to play anymore. That's cool. Do you know what that is?
I
from?
do
No
not
idea?
understand that reference, unfortunately.
I mean, was pirates a big theme in FF4?
Ships are a big theme in a lot of Final Fantasy games.
No, like literally opening is just them on a flying ship.
Oh, no kidding.
It's all
Yeah.
ships. It's
Oh, the
ships.
top of your library, as long as equipment is attached to a creature, that you may cast spells from the top of your library. What the hell is
Yeah,
this?
it's nice. That's in one of the commander
Wow.
decks.
Yeah, it is.
I want one for, I'm making a Kona deck.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I forget what the,
Now this is, I believe, 7.
um,
VII.
yes.
I got it.
Materia, so in Final Fantasy, one of the main themes is magic coming from crystals.
Okay.
The crystals that magic comes from has different names depending on the game you're playing. In Final Fantasy VII, it's materia. There's no crystals per se in Final Fantasy VIII, but there's a junction system where you'll find like magic spawn points throughout the game that you can draw magic from. So basically in Final Fantasy, magic is not innate in people, it's like drawn from the earth.
Let's see. Valiant Guardian. Beginning of combat return. Put 1 on counters. A lot of counter shenanigans.
One more question.
We have one more question left, guys. So please answer away.
I love Leviathan.
So we
Great
can
ability.
get you guys your packs.
So this is Saga. Return any creature that isn't a Kraken, Leviathan, Merfolk, Octopus, or Serpent. That's a lot of sea creatures.
Yep.
Until end of turn, whenever a Kraken, Leviathan, Merfolk, Octopus, or Serpent attacks, draw a card. I love how
Yep.
they have to name everyone. Like, what sea creatures are we missing? Whale?
You know, at some point they can just make an outlaw
Sea
type thing,
creatures.
right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we
Uh,
need more cowboys.
That's getting wordy.
Well, no, because outlaw
Ooh, that's
is
a
defined as
beautiful
either
forest.
assassin, mercenary,
Very pretty.
warlock. What was the other ones? Rogue, assassin.
Anything mercenary, I think.
Yeah.
Rebel.
So you have all of those things. Like, why can't we just have like, I don't know what word you would use.
Creature of that choice. Ignis.
Yep, it's the food guy. Yeah. So the summons are like I was saying in like Naya colors. So this one actually works really well with the Titan.
Yes. Dragon Wyvern and
I found my
Laughing.
low power commander, Lock Hole.
Good for you.
Oh, you opened your pack?
You know your pack.
Yeah, let me open my pack. See what I got.
All right, we are working.
Watching it come
Yeah,
to
right.
Philly.
Nothing here has been sold.
Chia
We can't be
Ifrit,
called out for anything.
Armon, Balaam T-Rex.
What is this beautiful?
Ooh, that's Surge foil.
This is a surge foil. Explain to me what I'm looking at right here.
Yeah.
Let me put that on the stream there. What is a go-go Master of Mimicry.
He's a mimic.
Copy target activator, triggered ability. Oh, Shuzbutt. That's a powerful card.
Yes. So basically, in the game, he can copy anybody's moveset.
Wow, CDH just found a new villain. Holy shnikes.
Hey, I got a turtle.
Oh, and it's mono blue.
Oh, that's cool. 820? What the fuck is that? All damage. Wow. 10 tap treasure tokens? Holy shit.
So fun fact about this, that last line doesn't say if you do. So if you have something that brings him back from the graveyard to the battlefield, he will come back and you will still get the treasures.
Alrighty. Smith. So,
That's wild. That's beautiful. That's a really cool variant.
You have from starting a new save file to reach the end of the final dungeon to get Caliber 2, Steiner's ultimate weapon.
Oh,
Godo's
man.
We talked about this earlier.
We did talk about this earlier. I'm trying to think of what it is
For
because
those
it's
that don't know, Godo is a reprint. Godo also is not really. It's a very fringe CDH commander.
pretty crazy.
Because Godo with it's Helm, right? Godo and Helm.
Isn't it like 8 hours, bro?
I think it's Godo.
No,
and Helm.
it's more than
He
that,
makes
but I
most-
want to
right?
say
You
it's
search
something like
for
20 hours.
First time I
No,
type
it's
it-
less than
yeah,
that.
Godo and Helm.
It's gotta
keep
be less
making
than that.
copies of him, and he just keeps murdering everybody. And so, like, the whole idea when you had J-Lo and Mana Crypt in play is with just Godo and enough mana, you get him out of
So hours of
very early
gameplay.
turn,
You
tap,
might be. I think it is
you
8
get a
hours. I
Helm,
think
you
you're
make
right.
copies of him, and you just start murdering everything.
I just looked it up, and we are so wrong.
Oh, is it?
We're off by 4 hours. So guess what, Rob? You get another collector. You get another
We're capping that everybody at 2.
All right.
Deuces.
That's it.
Yep. Ooh,
There's
Tifa.
the Tifa. Yeah, that's not. Is that?
No, it's
that's
not foil.
but it's a
I mean-
really crisp. Like this is a graded BGS 10 right here. That's beautiful.
It's also Tifa.
Yeah, Tifa's cool.
Tifa's Tifa.
Tifa's
You know,
cool.
a lot of people's teenage crushes.
Is that? Yeah, I can see that. Hildebrand Manderville. Who's a Hildebrand from XIV?
Hildebrand.
Is that 14? Yeah.
Yes, it's
I believe.
14.
Look at me learning. Something I already know.
Yeah, so as you can see from him and also Prompto, a lot of these characters, well, no, Prompto is a different game, but a lot of the characters in later Final Fantasy games are a bit extra. It's
That's a good way to describe that.
yeah.
From father to son, search library for a vehicle card, reveal it, put it in your hand if that spell is cast from the graveyard.
Oh, there we go.
Battlefield.
That's 15, right? Yeah. That's in reference to the fact that it's a road trip.
You gotta love the occasional Final Fantasy road trip. We've seen a few variants of
There's
this.
Zidane.
Loving the foiling
Still a great
on it.
card. Also works out with Stillskin. Oh, there's Steiner. So that is his first name. Everyone just calls him Steiner in the games. That is for Final Fantasy IX. Yeah, he is just captain of like the command, like the main knights of the game. Although it's a sort of a sad story. He sort of became a joke like near the beginning of that game because his main adversary, a woman named Beatrice, who is probably a better sword fighter than he is, in all honesty. She rose up the ranks and basically took hold of the army, but because I think when she first started coming, he beat her, and he was the only person to ever beat her in a sword fight. So he got to like have that title, but you know, he left the main castle and like joined the party.
And now you have a second one.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
He's a cool character, but very much so. He's the paladin of the party, so very much so law and order. Like, one of the main reasons he followed you in the first place is because you stole the princess, and he was trying to convince her to come back. But the entire time, she kept telling him she wanted to be there and that he should go back home, but he refused.
I want
He's a
this.
good knight.
I want
Vivi?
this creature.
I
What's with Vivi?
have seen one.
And is Vivi one of those Mokobos or something like that? Or
No.
Miku or whatever?
Vivi is actually, he's a black mage. In Final Fantasy IX, black mages are manufactured. Vivi is actually the prototype. At least that's the way it was described to us in the game. We don't know much about Vivi. We don't know much about Vivi. There's a lot of theories about what he is because, technically speaking, it's described that they don't have a soul.
Huh.
Like black mages don't have souls, and the thing is, they're kind of like robots. That's how they're described, but they do have personalities.
A black mage, as in the color black, like or.
No. Black mage refers to the type of magic they use.
Okay.
In magic, you have different classes, different like schools of magic, I guess. You have black magic, which is like the damage-dealing magic.
There we go.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
We
Hold
know
on.
about this guy right
Yeah,
here.
Jumbo Cactuar.
So Jumbo Cactuar, 10,000 needles whenever this creature attacks. It gets plus 99,999,999.
Yep, he becomes a 10,000 attack.
10,000 attacker.
Yep.
All the ways you can have fun with this.
Yeah.
Where would you even start? So, like, there's the one that...
Gerard, of course.
Gerard helps you, yeah.
Gerard, just toss him.
You could just make copies. You can sack them and draw 99,000 cards and then
Yeah.
have your Thassa on the stack.
Yeah.
Bunch
Well,
of fun stuff.
give him trample with our 10,000 cards in green that give things trample. It's
Very cool card. Nice pull
Yeah.
there. And then we have a
foil.
Farsi.
Yeah, Newfound Adventure.
Nice,
That's
which allows you
beautiful.
For, basically, it's a nice little Farsi.
Yeah.
it's a tutor. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But I was talking about earlier, black magic are basic damage dealing spells, white magic are basic healing spells. Red magic is a bit of a combination of both. And I think it's described as sort of like combat magic. And then you have blue magic, which is the magic that monsters use.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And there's some characters in some games that are considered blue mages that can use the attacks that monsters use as magic attacks.
Sorry, I want to
Yeah.
interrupt. A white elf. That's not common.
It's not common.
Not a mono white. There's Selesnya, but a mono white elf.
There are
that
some
is-
of them. Look on Ravnica.
Yeah. But very interesting to see that type. But I guess this works with the flavor, obviously. The second spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. Pretty useful. And you can partner
Yeah.
it with whoever that character is.
Yep. We're learning to count with Magic the Gathering.
The whole game is math. It was made by a mathematician.
Yep. When you cast your 30-second spell this turn, you win the game.
That's where we're going.
Another
Fragments.
crystal
I haven't seen a
fragments.
bunch of these yet.
No, the
The
crystals?
crystals, yeah. We've seen this.
I do like the blue crystal. Have you seen the blue crystal? It's really funny.
Is that mill?
Yes, but it's specifically when you would mill one or more cards, mill that many plus 5 instead.
Oh, Jesus. That's funny. Black Waltz number 3.
Yep. Another reference, so if Vivi was the prototype, these are like the second. So there's Vivi, there's the main black mages who are like workers mostly, slaves, realistically. And then these were like super soldiers, basically built for combat.
Very cool.
And there was, I think there was only 3 of them. But
And a
yes,
Blitzball.
Blitzball.
What is a Blitzball?
So Blitzball, I think the game is just called Blitzball in Final Fantasy X.
Oh, that's really good.
It is a sport. It is a very strange sport. I don't know who came up with it there. But you're basically in a giant water bubble filled with water, and you are trying to get your ball into the other person's goal. It's a lot like soccer.
This is Quidditch.
It's very much like Quidditch. But the explanation of why everyone's flying around instead of like on a field is because they're in water.
Okay, I like that.
So,
Also very useful. Make any color and you can sack it to draw 2 cards.
it's a very good
Very
mana
good.
rock.
Valuable card. All right, we got a
Your
hero.
hero,
Ultima. That's okay. So destroy all artifacts creatures end the turn. You don't see this very often. This is basically a Wrath of God that ends the turn.
Yep. But mix it with a Teferi, and now you have some real fun stuff happening. Let you cast cards at instant speed.
Jesus, yeah, that's wild. I like it. I'm a fan. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Ultima's
And we have a Ristic Study. Bing, 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 bing. A non-foil,
That's-
but still a very spicy
Yes.
Ristic Study. Let me put that back.
I
on
still think
camera.
that's a nice card, just not
Yeah,
foil.
I've played, so I've been making the graphics, and this was one of the arts I saw. I know nothing of this relationship. I'm sure you do.
Stay with me. I know less so. It's Titus and Yuna.
Uh-huh.
Yuna's kind of destined to not be alive. I'm trying to think of the best way to explain it. You know how I was explaining the life stream in Final Fantasy VII? They have a very similar thing in Final Fantasy X, although there's some differences, but the creator says they're the same thing, basically. So Yuna, basically, in order to save the world, has to become one with the life stream, which, considering there's a whole love story between these two characters, very tragic. It is a very famous scene where Titus has to sort of laugh at his situation and encourages Yuna to also laugh at the fact that she has to one day, not be around.
Is this a Moogle, a noted Moogle?
Mog. Yes, it would be from Final Fantasy. I don't know 6.
Okay.
But yeah, Mog's been around.
The Usurper, we've seen him already. Terrifying. Hey, a Dark Crystal. There we go.
Nice.
Black Spells, we've seen the Dark Crystal. I don't think we've seen all the crystals, but that's definitely one of them. Nice little forest.
Yes.
Stolen Uniform. Choose target creature you control and gain target equipment.
So this is non-foil right now. That's why I sleeved that up.
Yeah, that's a good call.
That's
Stolen Uniform. I'll let Tony know as soon as he walks in.
Yep.
We got ourselves a heuristic study.
Stay with me.
Nice. Prom 2. And another
Cactuar.
Cactuar.
Little Cactuar.
Little Cactuar.
A little weird one. Have you seen this thing?
At the beginning of the end step, if this creature didn't enter the battle this turn, return to...
Let's say 1 mana 3/3.
That is kind of wild. Yeah, back in my day, a 1 mana would be a 1/1 or a 1/2. 3/3, that's wild. With trample. Good lord. Target, oh wait, hold on. Restoration Magic. Tiered, target permanent gains Hexproof
That's a real good card.
Target permanent gains Hexproof Indestructible until end of turn, you gain 3 life. And permanents you control gain Hexproof. I'm just going to put that to the side for me right over there.
Yeah, it's a nice card.
Ultros.
Yeah, you'll, well, it's Final Fantasy. Yeah, you'll know about Ultros, Tony.
This is 6. Do you know Ultros?
It's a boss.
Yes, a boss in Final Fantasy 6. He's a troll boss. He's not really a series boss.
I mean, look at him. That is very art accurate to how he looks in the game.
I like that. Okay. Retrieve the Esper, create a 3/3 blue warp. I haven't been out there. I assume we're a little busy? Yeah, we're getting a little busy. So we're going to start moving this up in speed here.
No, I have like 8 people out there for Pokemon right now.
Oh, okay. But are they good at the till?
Yeah, they're good.
Okay. All right. So we're down to our last, say, 6 packs or so. I want to thank everybody, by the way, for watching the stream. Thursdays is our stream day. We're going to, and well, actually, we have all different stream days, but Thursdays we do our market watch, usually around 5 o'clock. And then we'll do something else later, usually a game that we'll play on stream, or we'll crack some packs. We'll just have some fun with y'all. It's a nice way to chill, relax, and have fun with the community. And then Fridays, typically what we'll do is we'll play for packs, where we'll go ahead and stream the final games. We'll play for collector packs. We won't be doing that this Friday, just because we have the pre-release going on, but we'll likely stream that as well. What's up?
Let's get everybody that buys Final Fantasy pre-cons will run 2-headed giants like pre-cons.
I think that sounds like a very adventurous idea, and we'll get back to that. Let's crack these packs right here. Here we go. We have Memories returning. Reveal top 5 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and choose an opponent, and then put the bottom of your library. This is Brainstorm.
I want to sleeve that up.
Yeah, pretty nice.
So this is a reference that I understand. The main characters in Final Fantasy VIII, so they kind of meet up as the game goes on, and like they seem to have almost no connection to each other. You find out at some point in the game that they were all orphans in the same cottage, and it was just them. And like they all grew up as children together, and like they start to gain their memories back as like they go through this cottage because they find it abandoned. And funnily enough, the person that raised them in that cottage turns out to be like the main witch sorceress of the game. That's like the main antagonist.
Very
So
cool.
like
Thanks for the heads
it's
up.
just wild.
Cecil Harvey. This is Timna the Weaver, one of the most popular CDH commanders out there, and that is a really nice pull.
Wait. That
Pretty
yeah.
fire art. And
That might also
we're
be
probably gonna sleeve
sleeved.
that one up. Very highly played Timna Weaver.
Yeah.
And here's gorgeous art for the guy. We've seen a couple of variants already. Very cool.
Yeah,
Who
it's
knows
really
about
nice art.
Arden?
Well, I know about Arden.
Tony knows about Arden. He's not mic'd up, but he knows about Arden.
I'm going to be mic'd up now,
Okay.
and I'll tell you guys.
Talk to me. I'm going to move along while you tell us about Arden.
So Arden is one of the protagonists in Final Fantasy 15. I named my son after him.
You're kidding.
Yes. So
That's some nerd stuff. That's
All
some
right.
Harley Quinn stuff right there.
all right. Well, the thing is with Arden was he was like this fallen king. He was supposed to be the true king, and he got betrayed by his brother Somnus.
Oh, wow.
So he wound up being the scourge, as Bahamut claimed him to be, and he wound up being eternal. So his job was basically to just mess up the throne of Lucius. And he's just a charismatic guy. Like he's worked his way into like many roles, and the enemies of Lucy were the Nifs, the Niflheim, and he was like their right hand man for their enemy. So he would do anything to bring down his brother's empire. and it's one of the coolest things ever. And the reveal is just so cool because he's like, my name is the same last name as Noctis, and he's just everybody's like, oh my god.
So was he a villain?
He was a villain,
And
but
you
he
named your son after him.
what? Yes,
Cool.
yes. So, all right, bro.
Setting a high expectation.
Yes.
And there's a little psychology into our employees here. That's really cool, though.
Minimum wage, bro.
I don't know what that is.
It's a summon from Final Fantasy 13. Yeah.
Okay. You cast a spree spell, so that gains haste. Yeah. Insane art. Okay.
That's a Stroke of Midnight.
Restore target non-land permanent. Its creature controls a 1/1 white. That's beautiful art for that.
Yeah.
I do love that.
It's a Beast Within, but white.
Whoever comes in for the first person for our midnight release, you should give them that card.
I love this. What
Stroke of
I don't want to promise something that's like a $50 card.
No, it's not.
I'm assuming this is not a $50 card because it's basically a Gen gift. It's actually a Gen gift. Except Gen gift can hit anything.
$1.50.
Okay, yeah. This
Minute
card will be
250.
here for the first player who comes in at midnight to purchase our product. Any sealed whatever. Come in off the stream. Tell us you're here at midnight. We'll do it. I've gotten messages. Mama's gotten calls. The midnight release is going to be big. Yes. They're going to be lining up. Right? Espers to Megicites.
Espers were basically like magical creatures that have like powers and such. That's what Terra's Espers.
Yeah, their summons are called Espers.
And the thing was when
If you see these cards, these are the ones Anthony wants.
basically Magicite is
I don't know if you've seen it
is
yet.
what Espers become when their life cycle is about to end.
Ah,
They share their magic power with people that they want.
that's cool stuff. Squale. Seed Mercenary.
Yeah. Seed is a, they're how do I put this? They're like black ops for like the government at the time in like that Final Fantasy game. Like they're special. It's a weird system. At some point, one of the weird quirks of Final Fantasy VIII is that you can take quizzes like about game mechanics, and the more correct answers you get, the more you'll just get paid randomly throughout the game.
Oh, shit. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard and you draw a card, you lose one. This ability triggers only once. Wow, that's good.
Yeah,
And then this is,
that's the melt card. Yep.
it's good every time I see it. It's been good the whole time.
It's a big boy.
Valkyrie. Choco
Yeah,
Comet again. Undercity Dire Rat
Yeah.
and a Town Greeter.
One of the few cards from Final Fantasy 1. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, we have a few packs left. What do you think?
Spiteful Hope said you got a fire shirt.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
thank
Thank
you.
you very much. I'm looking at all the stuff that Quinn has. I don't think we're gonna have time to put on the stream, so we'll just cut
Probably
it after
not.
these, and we'll crack it together and have some fun with them. Whoa!
Cecil,
that's
nice.
fire. What am I doing here? Deals damage. You lose that much life. Then, if you life are equal to half of your starting total. Holy shit! What is this?
Yo,
I think
that's so cool. So the front card is Cecil's original form, and then when he goes into his Dragoon form, that's his form.
Whenever he deals damage, you lose that much life. Then, if your life total is
Yeah.
less than it, okay.
It's
so
a 1-mana 2/3 death touch, by the way, if you didn't catch that.
Yeah, I did. And then he becomes a life linker, attacks other. Oh wow, that's a cool card.
Yeah, so I think that downside is very minimal considering his stats. I think that might be a standard card. Like,
I could see that. And then I saw something that was definitely foiled.
yeah.
What do we got?
Let's go ahead and, even though that's not the best, it's still pretty
its
awesome.
reprint is a Sire, right?
Yes, Sir Conrad.
Sir Conrad. Okay.
Yeah, that's a common. You might have some people interested in this card.
Yeah. Let me just remind people this is a mill-based strategy right here. Whenever another creature dies or a creature card is put into a graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, or a creature card leaves the battlefield, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent, and then you can mill a card. That is cool, and I'm seeing all the foiling effects in here are really sweet.
the
Really sweet.
foilings of these sets are.
Hey,
cards are
we got a
gorgeous.
Vivi. All right.
Nice.
That didn't take too long. Pew, pew, pew.
Extended art Vivi.
Yeah.
Collector's box.
Welcome to Collector's Emporium. Let me just sleeve this up. So
I was
for the-
explaining to him about Vivi being a prototype black mage.
So, for those that don't know, this is all the hype in the competitive Commander community right now. It's a 3-drop, of course, is it 0? Add X-Men any combination of blue or red, where X is his power. Okay? Activate only during your turn and only once. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a 1 counter on Vivi, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. This is insane.
Yes, just as like a regular card insane. Did you also see the infinite combo you can do with
There's
it?
so many. What is the price of this right now? Is this fairly inexpensive? F out of here.
The extended art, I think.
75. I'm just gonna put this back in the pile
Yeah.
over here. I'm not paying 75. That's insane.
Yep, 75 exactly.
Now, congratulations to whoever wants that. Let's go to the next one.
Well, the most recent sale was 50.
We're good. Exile Turk. I was gonna put it in. Who's the one? Joyra. Joyra. Whenever I cast the thing, I draw, and then that's just stupid value. But
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good right now.
Hopefully I can open one at the pre-release.
Yeah. Oh God, it's gonna be an insanely good card. Exile Terror creature opponent controls until the saga leaves, and then you put some counters on there. That's a first strike Ixion, very nice.
Yep.
Rejoin the fight. Mill 3 cards, starting with each the next opponent in turn order. Each opponent chooses a creature card in your graveyard that hasn't been chosen, and then very cool. A Realm Reborn. Other person
That's a
control
cool
have
card.
add one. This high cost, very good card in your tier or bracket 4 commander kind of style decks.
Yeah. I forget who I was talking about. Any sort of like enchantress strategy.
This is the road trip, I assume.
Oh, yes.
That's cool.
It is a road.
The car breaks down, by the way.
Shenanigans ensue. Barrett. Side quests. What are side quests? These are just
Yeah, so side quests, I think there's like they didn't make it. I kind of wish they made it a type of enchantment, but I can understand why they wouldn't. They almost all flip. So
Okay.
you do a thing.
Yeah.
At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your opponent's control this turn, create a treasure token. Then if you control 3 or more treasures, transform this enchantment. That's dumb because you can just make treasures other ways. And then the backside is just a 5/6 that you can sacrifice another creature to give it indestructible until end of turn.
That's pretty useful.
Oh yeah, when it enters, it destroys a creature. So I think this is a super solid limited card.
Yeah.
Probably not much beyond that, but
All right, so we're down to our last 4 packs. The thing I really want to see is just one of these chocobos. How many colors of chocobos are there?
a lot.
A lot. I think there's.
yeah.
I mean, there's definitely one in each color.
Yes, you have. Depends on what you mean by it. Because I don't think there's a white chocobo.
Oh, there's not. Okay.
No, there's a black chocobo. There is a blue chocobo, a green chocobo, black, red,
Nice
yellow.
little land right there.
You don't want to get the yellow chocobo. Nature's Claim.
Nature's Claim. I just love what is this, 8-bit Final Fantasy 1, yeah.
No, it's Final Fantasy.
6. That is 6.
God bless America. It's the V that's throwing me off.
So that's an introduction to like one
Yep.
of the first characters.
That's really cool.
There was quite a jump of graphics from 6 to 7.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at now, put this in the Zelda, and you're seeing, like, here, take this. It's dangerous to go alone kind of thing.
Well, no, that
Yeah.
kid actually kills you.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah,
I don't know if you want
it's
to.
an Esper called Vol Commander. It's for the 100 War.
The Dark Knight. We've seen this guy. Don't know what's
Ooh.
going on there. Enters, you draw a card, and target opponent may draw a card. Oh, okay.
Hold on, you might want to sleeve that. That's
Yeah?
so. It's not quite a Smothering Tithe.
Whenever an opponent draws a card, if it isn't in the player's turn, create a tapped treasure token. Oh, how much is this going for? I want this. This is a cool card. It's group hug and group fun and treasures and nonsense, and I love that. I have many white decks. Selvala could definitely gain value off this.
Oh, $11.
All right, Jeremy, I'm gonna buy that one. That one's pretty cool. Transpose. Draw a card, then discard a card. You lose 1 life. If this spell was cast from your hand, create a 0/1 wizard token. When this creature, non-creature, this token deals 1 damage and rebound.
Rebound.
Transpose.
Nice.
Oh, I think we've seen a version of this
Yeah.
already, yeah?
A
Just
better
not seeing
version.
the art, yeah. I think there's like 2 or 3 of each of the art styles.
Fat Chocobo.
Oh, Fat Chocobo.
That's a summon from Final Fantasy 7 as well, right?
That's what it says.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Quistis. That's another Final Fantasy 8 character. Now, was Quistis your teacher, or was she just like a higher classmate? Yeah. But she was, yeah.
Cool stuff.
One of the kids from that Final Fantasy VIII Cottage of Orphans.
This I've seen.
Titus?
I think FF10 was very popular, and I remember seeing certain things about like this character.
So
Titus.
FF10 was the first game on PlayStation 2.
Okay.
Which means it was the first game with like good graphics.
Yeah, that's facts.
Kingdom Hearts 1, like a lot of
I played Kingdom Hearts. When that happens, I think that's going to hit Lorcana before it hits Magic.
yeah.
Destroy target creature, gain 2 life.
That's the crossover event. That's how we cross over Magic into Lorcana.
Yeah,
Just get the.
Absolutely, yeah. We did a whole thing about Lorcana earlier. Sorcerer Speed Magic, y'all. All right, 3 packs left. Why don't you crack? Well, unfortunately, I don't have the camera. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go for it. I am
You're
more than
feeling
happy.
the vibes?
Yeah,
All right, good.
let you do your thing.
Appreciate it. Oh, I see something special looking. What do we got here? Oh, there she is. Snap, then you wiggle it.
Hold on.
boom, boom, boom.
That's an okay card.
That is a gorgeous. And we got it in a full top loader. So obviously,
Well, that's a Search Foil Tifa right
this
there.
little waifu is
Hold
gonna
on.
be a popular card right here. We need to let Quinn know we pulled this because I think that's exactly what he wanted to pull, and I don't blame him. That's pretty cool. And Quinn just had a birthday this week. Everybody had a birthday this week. What was going on 9 months ago, I wonder? Just a cold weekend. Yeah. Holy shnikes. TCG looking about 180 doll hairs for this surged foil. This box was way better than the last box.
Oh,
We
yeah.
pulled our value and then some.
This is.
Yeah, that is a fire. And remember, folks, if you're seeing it here, that means it's available here in the Basement Collectors as we do our midnight release. All these cards will be available for sale for you. Come on by because we're doing a Rip and Stay program, and the cards stay here, which means when you come here, you can buy them from us. All right, let's get through the last few packs here. Captain Lunar Storm.
Yep.
The Buster Sword in
Ooh,
the fire.
That's
art
also
right there.
nice. Hold on.
That is a fire
We might
card.
want to sleeve that
Yeah,
as well.
I
This
bet.
is a card that I actually think might go up in value.
Really? I mean,
like,
it's stupid what it does.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It's just when you think about it, Commander, Standard, like this card. Plus, this especially has Cloud on it. So I think that Buster
It's,
Sword.
is it Iron Man or Captain America that's all about the equipment? It's Cap. Right?
It's Captain America. Yeah. Yep.
We got a Cerebus.
Sarah, have you read this card, by the way? It's a really funny card.
Hold on, let me read the card. I've been asked to surveil one. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy it. Okay. And then triple. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it twice. Jesus Christ. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're very on theme for what Cerberus does.
Right?
More powerful.
I feel like I've seen Waka before.
Waka. Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 1.
Ah. He crossed over.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I've definitely seen Waka before.
Tidus, Owaka, and Stephanie was the crossover character.
Yeah. Selfie, right?
Selfie,
Yeah.
Shiva.
Ooh.
Tap target creature your opponent controls. Draw a card for each tapped creature your opponent controls. Wow, that's value. That's good value.
Mm-hmm.
Is this his flip? No. We've seen the white
Another
heart.
one, yeah. Put that
the
aside
Limit
for
Break,
me.
Phoenix down. Circle of Power. Shenanigans. Ice Magic. Okay. 2 magical packs of Final Fantasy. Thank you all again for joining us. This was, we didn't know how this would go. I don't know this product. That's why I've got my 2 friends here working on this. And I've learned a lot about this game. I'm actually way more excited about it than I was, before learning all this. So hopefully it goes for you guys as well. Yeah.
Great
it's
stories of
very
the
cool
Final
stuff.
Fantasy
Yeah.
games.
Midgar.
Midgar. It's
Very
the Final
cool.
Fantasy
You may
7
sack
city.
an artifact or creature. If you do, draw 2 cards. That's the sorcery.
Another
Brainstorm. Another of that particular character.
Venat.
I think
Another
we've seen
Snarkans.
this is our repeat pack. I'm feeling it. Balther
Oh.
and Fran.
Human Rabbit.
Here's your town for the blue town.
What does the Blue Town do?
Ooh. Okay, so right after the land is where you have your chance at these
Search foils?
The search foils. Yeah.
Ooh. Oh no, we got 2 fangs?
Yeah.
How are we gonna... we needed Vanille.
Well, I guess we'll have to crack some packs to get it.
Oh, that's a dwarf.
The king of the
that's how the
dwarves.
dwarves look in...
That's cool.
What is it, Final Fantasy 4? Yeah.
Yeah. You control enters, and whenever a equipped creature controls, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Very cool. The Trip and Infantry, Mission, Chocobo. All right, guys, this is our last chance at a Chocobo. Let's do it. I think we saw a majority of the really good hits. What
Probably.
What is it? Other than Chocobo, what would be like a fire hit? In this last pack?
Sephiroth. We didn't see any Sephiroth.
No
We didn't see any
Sephiroths?
clouds.
Oh, you're right. We didn't see a cloud.
Yeah,
All
and there's
right.
multiple clouds
We're
to
going to do
hit
some
too.
reverse order this time. I'm going to go commons, uncommons, with the last cards being the most valuable. We'll take the token off. All right, here we go. This is realistically what I should have been doing the entire time. All right, so we have ourselves a Namazu
Namazu,
Trader.
yeah.
Namazu Trader.
Fish Citizen.
I like that. You know what's funny? In all those things that they were talking about, the octopus, the they didn't say fish. Okay, that's just funny.
Well, that's why it can't be sea creatures.
yeah, right?
It's very specific.
Very specific sea creatures.
Yes.
Ether. We talked about Ether earlier. Exile this artifact, add blue. Whenever you cast your next instant sport spell, copy the spell. I mean, that's an uncommon. That's really
Yeah.
good. Inspiration. Attacking creatures get +2.
Fenrir.
A
It's
Fenrir.
a ramp spell.
Torgal, what is
Ooh, that's
this?
nice.
Fine Hound. Whenever you cast your first human creature spell, that creature enters with additional counter on it.
Yeah, we talked about this one.
A dog or wolf. Oh, we have seen this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hadn't seen that art.
People were talking about making him a werewolf commander, because all your werewolves are humans,
Oh yeah.
and then
Oh,
also
that's
wolves.
Cool. Yeah, facts. And then we're on to Esper Ramu.
Rama.
Rama.
Oh, no, Ramu. You're right.
We're all guessing.
Yeah.
Okay, there's. Ooh, the wastes are my favorite. The wastes are just so foreboding.
I have to say though, like it doesn't seem like a waste when I first see it. I always think it's either a plains or a swamp.
It
Like-
does have swamp-like, yeah, definitely. All right, so this could be our first character card. Let's see
Yep.
what we got here. Okay, the Sacrifice. Additional cost to cast 2, counter target arc. Hey, here we go. Here's another Stifle. As additional cost to cast a spell, sack a legendary creature or pay 2. That's a cool ability. Counter target, activate spell, triggered ability, or non-creature spell. That's cool.
Yeah, sacrificing a legendary creature is a bit tough.
It's tough, but it's another Stifle, and it's another way to stop,
Yeah.
your Thassa's Oracle.
Although
Commander.
something to say is when you are playing commander, you have a legendary creature at pretty much any
do.
point.
I think that's gonna.
Yeah.
I might. If it's not too expensive, I might grab that card. That's pretty cool. We have that land. Okay.
Did you read what this did, by the way?
It's the one that melts.
Yeah,
Oh, no. Yeah.
half
it's
their
yeah, half
library.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Snort. Each player may discard their hand and draw 5 cards. So we have a mini wheel. Then Snort deals 5 damage to each opponent who discard their hand and draws this way. And has flashback. That's a cool ability. I like that. And we have the half of what is this Shinru Transcendent Rival? Transforms
Oh, that's
into
Xenos.
Xenos. What is this? Who's a Xenos person? XIV. That would be 14, right?
Yep.
Xenos enters. Choose a creature and opponent controls. Okay, cool card though. And this is our final. We have 2 left. Chocobo, 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 Chocobo.
Oh, we have a token.
Ooh,
Foil
I
lightning
do like
bolt.
the foil lightning bolt.
I don't know if
That
that's
is cool.
sleeve worthy, but
Go ahead. Lightning bolts. There's lightning bolt collectors going all the way back to Alpha. I used to have a nice collection of them. And this will be our final card.
which I think might be a token.
No,
Unless
I
you took the
put
token
to-
away.
token.
Oh, you took the token away. That's
Chocobo?
right.
What do you think, Chocobo? Let's get a bird. Wandering Minstrel in.
Oh, it's a surge
The
foil.
Surging foil. Very
That's
cool. There's your
actually
new
really
goals right
nice.
there.
Yeah.
There's your commander. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that is the stream. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for winning packs with us. Thanks for having a lot of fun with us. Midnight. Come on by. It is happening. We are releasing all this product. You can buy the singles. You can buy the sealed. We're having a pre-release tomorrow that will be a sold-out 100-person pre-release. We're already mostly there. Check us out on our Discord, our 1,400-person Discord. Join us on our socials. We are Debasement at Collectors. The best damn place to play, to join, to have fun. We got the games. Come on by in Levittown. We'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.